8 seconds to go. They move it ahead off the stick of Neighbors. First meeting went to the Blues 1-0. Second meeting goes to the Winnipeg Jets 3-1 tonight.
Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers. Jamie Rivers heading down to Dallas where the Blues will take on the Stars. 203, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Blues lose last night 3-1. Blues lose. Not Blues Q's. Well, at some point, I'm sure we'll do that again. But yeah, the Blues lose 3-1. I don't know how you guys felt. I don't want to put lipstick on a pig here, but I do think that there were some decent positives from last night. Mainly, you've got a switch on the power play in which Steve Ott obviously was running the power play. Now, for right now, it's going to be Coach Montgomery, and you got a power play goal, which was good. I thought 5-on-5, the Blues were actually competitive. I don't think they got run out of the building. Unfortunately, when the game was tight, the discipline and the execution on special teams mattered more than anything. The Blues came up short. Yeah. The game swung almost entirely on one first period double minor in which Winnipeg scored twice on the power play in 1 minute and 33 seconds.
And it was an accident.
That was the difference.
It was an accident. Nathan Walker got his stick up, hit the Winnipeg Jet in the mouth, blood, and all the good things, bad things that come with that. Double minor. They score. You're like, okay. They score again. You're like, okay. Mm. And then the Blues get a double minor. They score on theirs. You're like, okay, well, maybe we can get back into the game as well. Unfortunately, only able to get one goal, and then you get the empty netter at the end of the game there. It's, I was thinking about this team last night and this morning. I woke up with it on my mind and on my heart. And I was thinking about this team, right? And I kind of had a loose comparison. It's a new year. We all want to go into the new year in a great way, great fashion, right? You want to do things to be better. So what do? You diet. You go to the gym. And I feel like the Blues are like a team that's dieting or a person that's dieting. You do it right as long as you see the results. You might wait 2 or 3 weeks. If you don't see the results, what are you going to do, Anthony?
Right, quit.
And go back to your normal habits.
Yeah. I'd like to think you change things up, you tweak some things. But generally speaking,
when you don't see the results, you tend to go back to your bad habits.
When you're not disciplined, yeah.
And so the results for the Blues are, if you do the good things, which they did last night, you kind of want to find a way to win. Mm-hmm. Because when you don't win and you're doing the things that are requested of you or asked of you, and you don't win, you don't get those results, you're like, well, hell, I might as well do what I've been doing. And that's when the bad Blues start creeping back in. So I hope that this is this recipe that they're using. You didn't get the results last night. You definitely didn't get the results of the game before. You got that's bad. But don't be like the fad diets. Don't just get off of the diet because it's not working. You're gonna have to stick to something for a longer period of time, even if you're not seeing the results right away. And I think that this team, in multiple times throughout the season, they'll have good periods, but they might not get the results that they want, and then they go right back to being
bad habits.
The bad habits.
Yeah, I think that's a really good analogy.
And I need them to continue the good habits even when it doesn't produce the result that you want right away. Sometimes it takes a little time. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, we as people go back to what we know best because, hell, it's easy to do it the bad way. It ain't working the good way no way, so the hell with it.
And you don't even have to think about bad habits. You just fall right back into them.
Yeah.
Marshall, you had a comment?
Yeah, I think last night I did feel like they played better throughout periods of that game. They had a lot of offensive chances. But I think last night was more frustrating than the game before against Edmonton, where it's like that game was over in the first period. Last night was so frustrating because you're going up against Eric Comrie, who's the backup for Winnipeg, who, by the way, at the time was the second worst team in the NHL. Now you are the second worst team in the NHL. I would love to have some finish to some of these chances.
Right.
And that's been a big problem for the Blues so far this year. They just can't score goals. It's simple as that. I thought they're 5-on-5. They were good. Like, they didn't let up a goal all night, 5-on-5. You know, they had the 2 power play goals for the Jets that we just mentioned, and then, you know, you pull the goalie at the end, which, by the way, I just did not like that at all. You didn't even have the puck. But sure, yeah, they played better. You still lost. And you can't lose games at this point in time when things are sort of hanging in the balance right now. You have to win games like that if you want to inchworm your way back to playoff relevancy. And I don't know. I don't really believe in this team right now. They've given me 0 reasons to believe in them. But I thought last night they played a better game, but they didn't win. And to me, that's frustrating.
Well, you mentioned the goal scoring. That is the biggest issue right now. And I thought what Jim Montgomery said was spot on because it's the truth. Goal scoring is an issue. He said it's the biggest theme right now. They've generated looks at even strength. They've had traffic and convergence around the net. But they don't finish, as you said, Marsh. They didn't finish last night. They usually don't finish. Didn't hit the net enough. Didn't win enough rebound battles. This has become a pattern. It's not a one-night issue. And one goal isn't going to beat many NHL teams. I don't care if you're second to last in the NHL, you're dead last, or anywhere in between. I mean, even against teams with losing records, if you don't find ways to finish in front of the net, you're not gonna win.
I think they missed some opportunities. Snuggerud had a shot there. You missed wide. Like, they had a couple of opportunities early in that first period, or maybe the second period, where they could have, put the puck in. But it's sometimes you don't
finish.
Like, Snuggie was right there, and I was watching closely because I picked him last night, and he just missed wide to the left, and it felt like he had an opportunity to go, top shelf, but sometimes it just doesn't happen that way, and you just have to keep doing. I can say that it's the hardest thing in sports to do what may feel unnatural, especially if you're not getting the results. Like, at some point, you have to play a game like that, where you play well in 5-on-5. You don't give up the power play goals. You don't have the 4-minute penalty where you got to kill that off, and you find a way to win that game, because that instills some confidence. And I think this is a team that probably lacks confidence. They don't feel like they got the guys to go get it done. And not that they don't think that they're good players, but just as a whole,
Jamie.
They're not getting it done. So doubt starts to creep in. Like, maybe we're not good. Yeah. Maybe we can't do it. And until you have the success of actually seeing the fruits of your labor, it's going to be hard to wrap your mind around what is going to allow you to have success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough too. Like, we just talked about the team. Like, I think they looked better, but at the end of the day, they lost. I still see things throughout the game where I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, reaching for the puck. On that second goal that the Jets scored, there's a loose puck at the hash marks, and Justin Falk kind of goes in and kind of reaches for it, and then gets beat to the puck, then beat to the net, and the puck goes in. Oh, that's the game right there. At that point, now it's a 2-0 game. You get a goal back, but maybe if they don't score there, you generate some momentum. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But at least it would be a 1-1 game. It's stuff like that where there's too much reaching going on. There's no gumption, the word
grit.
Grit, exactly. It's just little things like that. This is a game of inches, and you can even go back to the multiple backdoor feeds where, and credit to the Blues, they drew a penalty on one of them, and Jonathan Toews went to the penalty box. But it's just it's a game of inches, and the Blues aren't getting those inches. They're not winning those inches.
No. Even when Jordan Carey scored for the first time since December 1st.
I can't believe he got that shot off. That was a terrible pass.
He did, but he ends his drought, and the offense is scarce. Blues need more than one player heating up, and they need 3, 4, 5 guys heating up. They haven't had that. Blues now 2-5 in their last 7. Record 19, 23, and 8. They're losing ground in the standings, so better effort games are certainly necessary, but they're still, the results, as Carey's kind of alluding to, the results are just not there. Competitive, but not dangerous enough. Undisciplined moments cost them offense too thin. Welcome to your 2026 Blues. Very similar to the 2025. November, December Blues. Sorry, Marshy. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We didn't talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday. That was announced toward the end of our show. We collected our thoughts, and one of the thoughts I had, and one of the questions I had for listeners and for us here in the studios, does 2026 mark a turning point for the Baseball Hall of Fame? I'll explain what my thought process is next on 101 ESPN.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode, and all customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, or take a shot on an upset, or build the parlay that fits the moment. You got the Rams going into Seattle, divisional rivals. They have split this season. Maybe the Rams are able to take over and get a dub in Seattle this weekend. Puka Nacua over in receptions. Maybe you like Stafford over in passing yards, and that Rams defense to play outstanding. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So the Hall of Fame announcement came out toward the end of our show yesterday, and we didn't have an opportunity to react to it. Because I don't know about you guys, I kind of wanted to really look at understand the big picture and kind of look at the thought process of maybe some of the writers. But Carlos Beltran, former Cardinal, Andrew Jones, both elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Beltran was elected in his fourth year of eligibility after being named on 84.2% of the Baseball Writers Association of America ballots, easily clearing the 75% threshold for enshrinement. Jones was named on 78.4% of the ballot, just clearing the bar to earn election in his ninth and second to last year of eligibility.
Why did it take him so long?
Well, okay, so that's a perfect question, right? So here's where I'm looking at this Baseball Hall of Fame in 2026 almost being a turning point for baseball writers and really the Hall of Fame overall. Center fielders were historically underrepresented in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. That has now been corrected. You got two center fielders that were elected into the Hall. Players that were once viewed as borderline, definitely in the case of Jones, kind of in the case of Beltran, I believe are now being reevaluated through the modern lens. Defensive metrics, WAR, context. I know you're not a big analytic guy, but I do think that when you think about the Hall of Fame and the defensive metrics and the context of when they played, I do think it'll help guys like Andrew Jones, or helped Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran. I think guys that have had kind of long climbs like Andrew Jones, they're not first ballot considerations. I think they still have a pretty good shot. The other turning point is that voters, in my opinion, are kind of drawing clearer, firmer lines when it comes to PEDs. For example, if you had multiple PED suspensions in your career, guys like Manny, Ryan Braun, it's basically a disqualification.
Okay.
Pre-testing, guys like Andy Pettitte, forgivable to a lot of writers. Sign stealing and banging on trash cans,
okay.
Barely okay.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
So there's a clear line when it comes to cheating and cheating.
I think it's weird. Like I've always had like an issue anytime there's a vote, right, for Hall of Fame. I do think that the players that are in the Hall of Fame, players that actually played against these men, should also be included in some form or fashion. I don't necessarily think the fans need to vote because I think that's a popularity contest.
Sure.
But the people that you played against or played with, you know who can play. Mm-hmm. Like the NFL Hall of Fame, there are some players that we're still waiting to get into because there are writers that go in a room and had Terrell Owens was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's absurd because there was a writer or writers that didn't believe in him and didn't like him. Like, it's a personal issue. And I think that when you're looking at Major League Baseball, say what you want, man. Everybody was doing it. Some people were really good despite whether they did it or not. And they were already really good. Barry Bonds, greatest baseball player I've seen with my two eyes. I know some people will be mad about that here in St. Louis because Albert Pujols, but Barry Bonds was outstanding. 7-time MVP, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's unfortunate and it's unfair. And you're also, kind of ruining guys' legacies as well. Now you're making a clear distinction. You say Carlos Beltran, deserving, not a problem. But he also had something in his background where you're like, questionable. So
as a coach,
I think,
and kind of a player,
I think that
not as a coach, as a player,
the players need to be able to have a say in who actually gets into this prestigious, room that we're letting people into. And I don't have a problem with writers who cover the players having a say, but I think the players also should have a say in who is allowed into their room because their opinion of a player is probably going to be drastically different than a person that just wrote about that specific player for a number of years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the case with Andrew Jones, I think, is really fascinating. He went from 7.3% to 78.4%. That's like that's a philosophical earthquake.
Yeah.
When you consider where he was, 7.3% of the ballots. Then he jumped to 78.4%. So what is that telling us? What are voters telling us? I don't know if they necessarily just came around. I think they completely changed how they valued defense and how they valued his peak performance. So where was Andrew Jones at his peak in relation to the rest of baseball? How do you value and measure the defensive prowess that he had?
10-time Gold Glove winner speaks volumes as to who you are as a baseball player. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do think that that's where the writers are kind of enamored with just numbers on a sheet. What did he do at the plate? There's also another facet of this game, man. Like if you're a 10-time Gold Glove winner, you're pretty damn good at your position, probably the best in sport.
Right.
So the fact that doesn't even get thought into consideration, or it takes that long, that's troubling, because when you're a player, like, you look at the entire player, you're like, okay, this guy, we know how important he is defensively. You hit it here, he's probably going to catch it. So we got to do something. We have to make sure that we're doing everything we can to negate how good he is on this side of the ball, not just at the plate. And I think that to me is the frustrating part when you look at you just want to look at numbers. Well, what did he do at the plate? There's two sides to this as well.
Well, I think, but I think what you're saying, your frustration, right? Because that's what, in my opinion, that's what you're doing. You're frustrated over guys like Andrew Jones being kept out. That's the good news. That's where I think the shift comes from. Not the shift in baseball, but which was banned, but the shift in how writers and voters look at this. I think what you just said, CD. The writers are now saying, okay, we are changing, we're rewriting what the standard is. That is what I take away from Andrew Jones going from 7.3% to 78.4%.
Right.
And the Beltran thing, I think it really,
you don't think they cared.
It goes more into, like, do voters care about what happened with the Astros?
Well, why?
I think they cared, but I don't know if they cared.
Why? Well, what's
much.
the difference? Like, if you're saying that, okay, we gave up signals and signs for people to know what pitch was coming, and we won a World Series. Like, we didn't just get knocked out.
You didn't just have a nice season.
We had a damn good season, legendary season, and people knew what pitch was coming, or they knew what to expect.
Yeah.
They had an advantage. What's the difference from that advantage to another advantage?
You want my answer on that?
I would love your answer on that.
From the writer's standpoint, they're being selective.
And that's the part that is ridiculous.
They're being selective. They're saying steroids on one hand is significantly worse. PEDs, steroids, all that, significantly worse than banging on a trash can.
How do you get to judge that, though? Who made you, judge, jury, and executioner of what is right and what is wrong, and what is fair, and what advantage is greater than the other advantage? That's the frustrating part to me.
Yeah.
And again, this is no knock against any writer, but I would love to know, I would love to sit down and say, what makes you decide that this player had a clear and distinct advantage, and that player should not be in over player X, when this player is actually much greater than player X?
Yeah,
that's confusing.
I wonder if it's like a career thing versus a one-season thing, whereas you could look at some of the players who did use PEDs, and they were using it, if allegedly, whatever you want to call it, for multiple seasons that impacted their numbers. Where at least in the Carlos Beltran talk, I mean, he's at the end of his career. How much did he actually play on that Astros team? I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there, right?
Yeah. Well, that's where I say writers are being selective about what they're weighing when it comes to cheating. I'm not saying it's right, by the way. I'm just saying there is a clearly defined, if you had multiple PED suspensions, it is a disqualification. If it's pre-testing and there's some, it's kind of a gray area, it can be forgivable depending on who you are, i.e. Andy Bennett. Banging on trash cans, stealing signs, they're like, okay, if your career was good enough like Carlos Beltran's. That's what they're saying.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
I want to localize this real quick because we have a lot of people texting in saying that Jim Edmonds should be a Hall of Famer. And if you look at his stats compared to Andrew Jones, he's not that far off by any means. Andrew Jones has 41 more home runs, 90 more runs batted in, 2.7 better WAR, but he has more plate appearances, so more opportunity to, tack on some stats and whatnot. Jim Edmonds has 2 less Gold Gloves, but he has a better batting average. Jim Edmonds does better OBP, better slug, better OPS, better OPS plus.
So here's the case for Jim Edmonds on top of what Marsh just laid out, because Marsh just laid it out perfectly. Obviously, elite defenseman. Marsh, you said the 2 fewer, so obviously he had 8 Gold Glove awards compared to the 10 for Andrew Jones. He also had a strong offensive peak, which is one of the things that I think got Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran in. Mm-hmm. Jim Edmonds, over a 5-year stretch from 2000 to 2004, or 5 seasons, saw his average over 30 home runs, an 900 plus OPS, significant WAR, helping the Cardinals to the playoffs, 4-time All-Star, 1-time Silver Slugger. The reason he's not in the Hall of Fame is because he fell off the ballot because he received only 2.5% of the votes, which is 11, failing to meet the 5% thresholds. I wonder, and this isn't going to help anyone, sleep better at night, especially Jim Edmonds, but I wonder if these writers who look at more of the metrics and things like that would have gotten Jim Edmonds in.
But so it's too late for him, though.
Correct.
Because he fell off the ballot.
Yes. He was only on for 1 year.
That's ridiculous.
There's another way, though, for players to get in.
Yeah, I forget what that's called. There is a different... There's something else with that, and I apologize. I can look it up in the break, or maybe Marsh is going to do it now. But yeah, I think that under these standards, perhaps Jim Edmonds would have a better chance of getting in now. Just like Andrew Jones did. I think moving forward, save for the trash can stuff, I think moving forward, we will see. This might be a good thing for Yadi Molina, by the way. This might be a great thing for Yadi. I think Yadi's a Hall of Famer anyways.
I agree.
But there have been writers that have pushed against that because of his offensive numbers. Again, I believe the impact that Yadi Molina has made in the game is deserving of a Hall of Fame induction. Agreed. However, there have been writers that have argued against Yadi being in because of the offensive numbers. If I'm right and that this marks a turning point for the Baseball Hall of Fame, this could really benefit Yadi because they will actually view and value defensive metrics just as much as they do offensive numbers. It's a good thing.
The Veterans Committee, that's what our Air Comfort Service text line is telling us.
Thank you.
The Veterans Committee. All right.
Now I don't know if the Veterans Committee also were the same guys that basically just transitioned from what the people that left Jim Edmonds off, and like now they've transitioned to like a more of a veteran committee. Because if that's the case, that's not good. But at least there is still a path.
Back to your Yachty thing. If he's not a Hall of Famer, these people need to stop doing what they're doing. Just saying.
No pushback here.
Just saying.
No pushback here. All right. That's Andrew Marsh. That's Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Slew Billikens win again last night in basketball. Got a little hairy, but their magical season continues. There was a tweet that Marsh found from, was it a national writer, Marsh, that
college basketball
national writer, who had a kind of an interesting comment on not only SLU and the A10, but also the conference near and dear to my heart, the MAC, and how the path might not be easy for SLU to get into the top 25. Or I'm sorry, into the March Madness tournament. They're already in the top 25. Do they need to stay in the top 25 to avoid having to win the A10 tournament? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. I'm always talking about playing on Underdog, and Underdog is awesome, man. All you have to do is choose whether or not certain players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. And with Championship Sunday, a mere 4 days away, why don't we get into that? Some of the plays I like this weekend on Underdog. I actually think Cortland Sutton, despite having Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, I think he has a rebound performance. Last week was real tough for him, but the number, 51.5 receiving yards. I like Cortland Sutton to go higher than 51.5 receiving yards at underdog this week. Same game, I think Drake May goes higher than 31.5 rushing yards. Denver's got a stout pass rush, which can also lead to maybe some open lanes for Drake May to run. And if he's pressured a lot, maybe he'll use his legs a little bit more. So a couple of picks for the AFC Championship game throughout the week. I'll certainly have some plays when it comes to the NFC too. So those are a couple of picks. But how you want to play an underdog, completely up to you. If you get your entries right, though, depending on how big your entries are, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So it's a lot of fun to play. You're watching the games. You're looking at the matchups throughout the course of the week. If you certainly love to dive into the matchups and things like that I do, Underdog's perfect for you. So what are you waiting for? Download the app. Use my first name, Anthony, when they ask you for a promo code, because you're going to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. So again, go to the Underdog app or go to the Underdog website, sign up, and when they ask you for a promo code, just type in my first name, Anthony. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing. Get terms _DFS.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew March. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues fall to the Winnipeg Jets last night by a final score of 3-1. They'll be back in action on Friday, taking on the Dallas Stars. Pregame for that one starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. SLU's basketball team improves to 18-1 after an 81-77 victory over Duquesne. We'll dive into the Billikens' season coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Well, as Marsh just noted in the SportsCenter update, the Billikens with another victory last night. Good teams survive bad nights, CD. And for St. Louis, it wasn't the best of nights, but look, man, they won. And sometimes you have a process that maybe you stick to for a little bit and you don't see the results, like we were talking about with the Blues, but the SLU Billikens stayed with their process, and they got the results they wanted. So they stayed unbeaten in the A10, extending the winning streak to 12. Won on the road after entering the top 25, which is important. There's a lot of pressure now.
Yeah.
The college basketball world is looking at you. Like, who the hell is this St. Louis Billikens team? What the hell is a Billiken? And you get it done on the road. Held on despite nearly coughing up a 17-point second half lead. So 5 players in double figures, no single hero. Several timely plays that were made last night, and that, I think, is another theme for this SLU Billikens, and I love it. Late free throws, defensive rebound sealed it, so really nice work by SLU. Now, Marsh.
Yes.
You found a writer on Twitter, a college basketball writer, that had a thought about SLU and one of the teams in the MAC that's rolling as well.
Yeah, John Rothstein. He posted, my biggest thought after watching the close wins by St. Louis and Miami of Ohio tonight, there's no pressure like coaching in a mid-major conference tournament if you're a one-bid league. An interesting 6 weeks lies ahead for both.
So I don't think the writer was out of bounds with that, because he's talking about the pressure that SLU and Miami, Ohio are under.
One team, essentially,
to
get in.
But that's the question. Does SLU still make it into the tournament if they're a top 25 team, but they lose in the A10 tournament? Because I don't think there's any question that they would be.
So
but the
I
writer
think
positions it like, hey, A10's only going to have one representative. I disagree with that.
It depends on if you continue to win out. Like, if you make it to the A10 championship game and you lose, then you're probably in. But if you have 3 or 4 losses under your belt and then lose in that championship game, then I think that's more the narrative that the writer is speaking of. I do see a way that if they lose the A10 championship and only have this one loss, which was on the road at Stanford by 1 point, that's your only loss of the season. The hell yeah. You deserve to be in. And even if you make it to the A10 championship game and lose, now, I think you got to make it to the A10 championship game and lose. You have 2 losses on your resume, and those being those 2 losses. If you lose somewhere along the way in the A10 tournament, maybe not.
Right.
So I think it does boil down to, you can have 2, but it has to be a 1-loss team going into that game, and then you lose that game, and now you're still, because you're still in the top 25 at that point. I think that you're. No,
I don't. I think you're off base on that at all.
So it would kind of be like Notre Dame getting jumped by Miami.
Stop.
You know, who the hell does that? That would never happen, Anthony. You wouldn't be in the top 25 and not.
It depends.
Be in the top
Notre Dame lose to Miami in a head-to-head battle.
I'm just saying, you wouldn't be in the top 25 and not be in the top 64 teams in the country. Okay. Am I right?
So if they head into the A10 tournament, a top 25 team, let's say they lose early, though, you don't think that they'll still be in?
I don't think so.
How early?
Yeah, how early?
Just early, like.
Yeah, no. I think depends. I think everything is it'll be how it looks. Like, I think the eye test is going to, be heavily scrutinized with this team, and if you continue to play in the way that you have and continue to have the success, sure. But if you lose and it's not in the championship game and there's a thought process that only one team from this conference is going to get in and that's the champion, you can't give we just talking about writers and people that make decisions and committees. You can't give people a reason to not have you in there. And that could be a reason that they could not have you in.
I just think, like, if they're going to be in the top 25 the rest of the way, that means they probably aren't losing another game in the regular season. So that means you have one loss heading into, which, by the way, would be an out-of-conference loss, heading into your conference tournament. I just feel as if you can't leave a team out with 2 losses throughout the year. Mm-hmm. If they're a top 25 team, which, in my opinion, that means they probably win out. Based on their schedule, what conference they're in. You know, if they lose again, they're probably out of the top 25.
Hey, right. I mean, look, yes, because the opponent then comes into play there. Right. You're right, Marsh. For me, like, they're also playing so exceptionally well. I don't expect they're a really good team. They're not immune, but they're a really good team. First AP ranking in 5 years, best scoring margin in the country, historic pace, is the best start since 1993-94. They've got this identity that's balanced scoring. No one has to take over. No one has to go off. The turnovers will pile up. The good turnovers, them creating turnovers will pile up. They do such a great job. I love the way that they're playing. I said it yesterday. We don't know how truly how good this team is because they don't have the most daunting schedule. They don't play in the most daunting conference. But if we talk about this in relation to what we're talking about with SLU making the tournament, they play like this. I don't expect them to get bounced in the A10 tournament early. I expect them to get to the title game and be favored to win it. They look fantastic.
Yeah, keep winning though. Don't give anyone an opportunity to do anything crazy. That's the best thing I can say.
I think expectations have changed. The way that they have played, I think the expectations have changed. Win the A10, make noise in March. Mm-hmm. That, to me, is an appropriate, based on how they're playing, that is an appropriate expectation for SLU.
I agree.
I'll say aye.
Aye.
We do get a text from 618 several years ago. Ranked Murray State lost the championship game, I believe in OT, and was left out of the tournament.
Now, why'd you have to bring that up?
I didn't bring it up. The 618 did.
I'm talking to the 618.
Things happen, man. You don't like the truth, don't ask.
Yeah, that's true, too. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Congratulations to SLU, though. Best start since 1993-94.
And I just looked this up, by the way, that Murray State team. I believe it was 2015. That team won 25 straight games.
And left out of the tournament, you say?
They were left out of the tournament.
That stinks.
In this article, they were one of the biggest snubs.
Life comes at you fast, man.
The Murray State
Racers.
Yeah, nice job.
It says right here in the article. But I did know that. That's where John Morant went to school.
That's right.
I don't know when the last time he's played basketball.
He may never.
Yeah, he'll play again. I don't know where. It might not be in Memphis.
Yeah.
The hell he's doing.
Jimmy Butler may be playing in Memphis at some point, too.
Well, he won't be playing at all, Anthony.
Next
He's
year.
injured.
Next year.
Come on, man. He didn't have to do that. Hurt people, Anthony.
I'm not hurt.
You hurt me.
I didn't hurt you.
You just talked about Jimmy Butler, and he just went down with
Jimmy
a torn
Butler actually
ACL.
is hurt.
He actually is hurt.
And you hurt me because I'm a Warriors fan.
Well, they still got Steph Curry.
Yeah, they didn't do spit last night.
Oh,
They lost by 20.
Oh, you had them.
I did have them.
You had them.
I had Colorado plus 5.5. They lost by 6.
Joel Hofer didn't get those saves, Anthony.
Wow, we all went down in flames. Except for Jamie, right? Did he win
I'm
easily?
pretty sure he did, yeah. Yeah, he had Dallas money line. I think they won by 6 or something.
Oh, good for you, Jamie.
So I think it was like 6-2.
Check his bets, man.
Something like that.
All right.
It's his segment. We're all
his
just
show.
kind of, well.
You know that. All right, what's trending is next. A little Cardinals baseball coming at you here on 101 ESPN. If you need a new ride or you're looking at used vehicles, you got to go check out my friends at Auto Centers Nissan. They're down in Herculaneum, just minutes from South County. They have, during their 000 Advantage sales event throughout the month of January, on select new Nissans, they've got offers of 0 down payment, 0% APR for 60 months, and 0 payments until summer. What about the selection, though, Anthony? Hey, I'm glad you asked. They've got over 1,000 new and used vehicles all in one location. So when you shop at AutoCentersNissan.com and you find a couple of vehicles that match your price point and you want to take the test drive, when you actually go down to the dealership the following day or the weekend, they're going to have those same vehicles there waiting for you. And every new Nissan comes with a 30-day return promise, so you can buy with confidence, because within 30 days, if you're not completely sold on the vehicle, you can bring it back for a full refund. Select used vehicles also qualify for 0 down and no payments for 3 months. And when you finance any new or used vehicle, you're protected with Auto Center's walk-away finance protection. So shop online at AutoCentersNissan.com. When you do head down to the dealership in Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
Topics in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Anthony, you alluded to myself bringing up some Cardinals content, and I have some for you. the Cardinals posted less than an hour ago, Yadi is back. We are excited to welcome back Yadier Molina as special assistant to the president of baseball operations. I feel like we heard that already like a month or so ago. But also, Yadier Molina is returning to help mentor the club's catchers.
Yes. CD.
Didn't they say that in 2024?
It's different.
Different year.
No,
Different year to start.
it is indeed a different year. But I'm just asking. Because I remember they had the 2 and then they had the 4 outlined and they had 4 is back and that. Didn't that happen? Didn't we see this? Did this happen already?
I do not recall.
We didn't. Am I living in a time warp? Because I could have sworn
I misremember
that Yachty was supposed to be back a year or 2 ago, and they did this whole thing.
Carey, stop living in the past, man.
And
I don't
he didn't
know.
come back.
I don't know what you're getting at.
I'm not
I don't know
crazy.
why you're trying to spoil it.
I'm just checking.
Yachty's back. He's going to work with our catchers. I think that's great. It's great news.
But didn't they say this last time?
That's different. It's a different regime. It was Mo.
Mm-hmm. Different.
This is
The same coaching
This
staff.
is the Bluminator.
Heimer.
Bluminator.
Heimer.
Okay.
Is it
I was
Heimer or
checking.
is it Bluminator? Which one are we going with?
Yeah, we'll see what sticks.
I was confused. I
Well,
wasn't.
don't be, my friend.
I wasn't sure. I just, sometimes you have deja vu and you see things or something happens in life, and then sometimes it actually does happen. Like you daydream or dream something and it happens.
Yeah.
Like I've seen, call me crazy, but I know I heard this same thing before about Yadier Molina helping out.
It was a different timeline.
Is it different Yadier?
Nope.
Different multiverse.
Different Molina.
There's only one Yachty.
It's just me that remembers
There's
that.
multiple Molinas.
There's a few of them.
There's 3
Yeah,
brothers.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
But only one Yadier that is going to help our Cardinals catchers.
I'm confused. All right.
Well, Carey, what do you think about it, man?
Yeah,
This is the first time that we're hearing
First time
something
I've
like
ever
this.
heard something like this. I think it's awesome, man. I can't wait to see Yachty back and helping these guys out, man. It'd be awesome. Now, I could have sworn I heard it before, but I'll let it go. If you
Thank
say
you.
it never happened before, I'll trust you. And you.
I think it's a great thing
I think
that
it's
Yadier
outstanding.
Molina is going to work with these Cardinals catchers. I don't know why they didn't think of this before. And I think it'll be great, especially for a young guy like Ivan Herrera, who some believe he's a DH, but others think he could be a catcher.
Okay.
So
Should be fun, man.
there's that.
Carey, there are some people on our text line that are just feeding into your craziness about hearing this before. They're saying, you're absolutely right, Carey.
I told you.
I don't remember.
Sharon's Ledoux pool boy gets it. She heard it too. I'm not crazy. Carey, you're not dreaming. It was supposed to come aboard 2 years ago, and something happened. All right, okay. I'm not living in a time where you two lied to me. You lied to me.
Hey, it's called
I trust
gaslighting, not lighting, not lying. Okay?
Much worse, actually.
Honestly, much worse. I think it's more damaging, quite frankly.
Gaslighting is actually the worst thing.
Gaslighting. The gaslighting's kind of harder to prove.
You can do this.
Yeah, it's awful.
Someone who has been gaslit before.
Yeah.
And you don't know you're being gaslit.
Oh, you have no idea.
That's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the funny thing is, you have to remove yourself from it, like actual gas.
To know
To
that
get
what was
clarity.
going on. Yeah.
You're like, wait a second.
That's not real.
That's not.
Okay.
Carey, tell me if you've heard this before. Cardinals have 4 prospects in the top 100.
All righty.
Baseball America entering 2026. 4 in the top 100. In fact, all 4 of those are in the top 55.
What are their names?
Well, we have J.J. Weatherholt. He's ranked number 3.
Heard of him
Again, this is
before.
Baseball America's top 100. The others are Liam Doyle,
Heard of
who
him.
is at number 33. Raniel Rodriguez, catcher, by the way,
Need one of those.
ranked number 35. And Joshua Baez, ranked number 54.
Baez?
You know, some people in the snake pit, and I won't mention the names, it's not fair to them, but some people in the snake pit don't feel as though that the Cardinals have the makings of a great core. But I do. And I think that if you just project a little bit, you'll see that the Cardinals have the makings of a really, really great core.
I like it. I'm excited. I'm excited to have Yachty back for the first time. I know he was back in uniform last year, but the first time where they said he's going to be here. He's going to be here full time, spring training and all. He's showing up. Because you all said he is.
Well,
and if he doesn't,
I don't know why he wouldn't.
if he doesn't, I'm holding you two accountable.
I mean, if the Cardinals...
For Yadier's actions.
Look, man, if the Cardinals say he's going to be there in spring training,
And
he's going to be there.
You said he never said that before, so...
Well, hang on a second. I was just told that it's hard to pick up when someone is gaslighting you. But I can smell the kerosene from Anthony.
I don't think that's kerosene you're smelling.
Yeah.
If you saw what he was eating in there earlier. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's explore some trades for Robert Thomas next on 101 ESPN.
You.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 301. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic, posted an article in which he discussed some options for the Blues when it comes to trades. What would a Robert Thomas trade look like for the Blues? JR and a fellow writer looked into this. Now, a couple of things that we need to kind of clarify first. The most important thing to understand is that there's not going to be any sort of fire sale. I know some Blues fans have mentioned it. They've looked at what the Cardinals are doing. They say, well, hey, why not the Blues? There's a lot of no-trade clauses. You can bitch and moan about the no-trade clause and whether or not so many should have been handed out. Kind of not the point, though. Bottom line, this isn't going to be a fire sale for the Blues. Yes, the Blues have 5 players that could be on the trade block. Yes, other teams are going to be probably making some big, aggressive moves. But Doug Armstrong, I don't think, is going to just start making trades left and right. I think he's going to deliberately slow play this. He's going to get the deal that he wants if he wants to trade somebody. So if you look at Robert Thomas, the reason why his name is being discussed at all is it's obvious. He's 26. He's a top-line center. He signed a long-term. He signed long-term, and at a cap hit that will look better as the cap rises. Mm-hmm. League values Thomas highly, even if his raw numbers are down. And the Blues would be at least open-minded about breaking up whatever this core is if the return justifies it. So the article that JR put together defends Thomas and shifts blame elsewhere. So it's not just Robert Thomas that has struggled. As Jamie's highlighted, a lot of Blues have struggled. But why trading Thomas would make sense. Teams desperately need centers. Free agent market is weak. Cap is exploding upwards, so this all fits. What could Thomas bring back? JR says a first-round pick minimum plus a high-end prospect or 2, or young NHL players. 2 questions, though, in my eyes. One, if you're going to trade Robert Thomas, what do you need to get in return to justify it? And 2, why would you be doing it?
I think you would be doing it because the way that you stand right now, it's not working. Like, that would be the most clear and direct point to why you would do something like this. You eventually said, okay, we've tried every wingman with you. We've tried to do all of the different, things we can do to try to get the most out of you and the people around you, and it's not working. And if I'm looking at this team or this roster, you're probably going to be the most sought-after player that we have. And you do have this no-trade clause, but that would be the reason why I think you would do that. Because generally when you're making a trade, you don't trade away people. The notion that just trade them. Well, if you don't want them, who the hell else you think wants them?
Yeah, but that's the question. What are you trying to accomplish?
I always, when people trade such and such, he's terrible. To who, man? Mm-hmm. Like, that's not how it works.
Trade Booch.
There has to be a value in return for the team that is willing to dance with you. So Robert Thomas gives you the most opportunity to get something of value in return. Mm-hmm. And again, the no trade clause makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to work around that. But that's why you would trade him, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I missed the second part of the question because I forgot.
No, I honestly appreciate your honesty. It's really, what does Thomas net you? The 2 questions are, what does Thomas net you, and then what does a trade accomplish? If I'm just going to kind of be concise. But I already discussed what at least JR thinks you can get. Mm-hmm. First-round pick minimum, plus high-end prospects or young NHL players.
Yeah.
So the second part of that is, what are you trying to accomplish? Which fits what you posed too. You're not just going to trade him to trade him.
Correct.
What are you looking to accomplish? And to me, the Blues would be looking to accomplish the core. This core specifically needs to be broken up because we know it doesn't work. We don't know what combination will work, but we know this one doesn't.
Right.
So we're going to trade him. He's going to waive the no-trade clause, so maybe go to a different spot. And in return, we are going to net high-end prospects to rebuild and reshape this core for the future. That is why you would ultimately trade him. He would fetch you more than any other player on your roster. That is why. And if you're going to shake up the core anyways, you might as well kind of start with the player that's going to fetch you the most. That would be the idea behind it. I'm not saying they'll do it, but that would be the idea behind it.
Yeah, I think the only concern for me is you're looking for a center again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and maybe you get one in return. It's just a younger player that has high upside. But I think this would be a risky trade. I think it really would be. Now, it could end up working out for the Blues because ultimately Robert Thomas, our expectations for him this season, they just haven't come to fruition. And who knows if, he'll ever be that 90-point player. We don't know. But if he is the guy that can net you the most, well, then maybe you consider it. I just think overall the season has been just super disappointing, and you would expect that your best players would at least try to drag you into the fight, and I just haven't seen any of that from any of these guys all season long.
I think that's very fair.
So, to me, I would try and move on from a decent amount of players. Obviously, that probably won't happen. It's hard to do that given the contracts. But for me, I'm not necessarily married to really any of these players, except for maybe a few. Philip Broberg, definitely not moving on from him. He just signed a contract. Some of these younger players you want to see more. But we kind of have an idea of what we'll call them the top three guys. We kind of have an idea of what they are. And right now, they're not good enough.
No, at all.
Got a text from the 314 says, Thomas doesn't need to be traded. He needs to be not considered a number one center. He's a perfect number two. That's cool.
Yeah,
Who's your number one center then?
That's the problem, right? I think that goes into what, and you're right, CD. That I think goes into what Marsh just asked. Is like, okay, well, you're trading him, who then becomes your both apply here. So if he's your number two, who is your number one center then?
Yeah, I think you, Dalibor Dvorsky. There you go.
Sure, and maybe he will be. Maybe he's developing into that.
If this team is trending in the direction which it looks to be that they're trending in, doesn't matter. Respectfully, it doesn't matter. If you are,
it doesn't matter right now.
If you're trading Robert Thomas, you're probably punting on this season. Is that a fair statement as well?
You're punting on this season, and you are completely.
So at that point, whoever's playing, whoever is your first center is going to be having some growing pains. You're going to be learning. You're going to be figuring some things out.
True.
And you're going to be living life in the best way you can, trying to play this thing on the run and figure it out as you can. Mm-hmm. It's not. I think if you trade Robert Thomas or that conversation is happening, you know that this team is not going to make a push for the playoffs this year unless something just miraculous happens.
Well, I don't necessarily see if they are to move on from him. I do not see that happening in season, though. I feel like that would be an off-season move, right?
I would think so, too. Yeah.
So, and because you do give them that runway, maybe they got a 12-game win streak up their sleeve again. Who knows,
sure.
right? But
yeah, it's not like Robert Thomas wouldn't fetch you something in the offseason, too.
Grant Francis fan club, who is highly critical of Robert Thomas, says, Blues lack a leader, an alpha. Thomas might be the guy who can help you get that.
Okay, so
I don't think so.
Use Thomas to get somebody that would be an alpha, as well.
I don't think a team would trade their alpha for.
Well, it would have to be a younger player. It would have to be a younger player and a prospect. Yeah. Somebody that could become an alpha. He's
right.
But how would you know?
So he says lack a leader. Do you guys feel as if Robert Thomas is a leader on this team? Where's the letter?
I think Robert Thomas is too good of a player to have the emotional roller coaster that he has when the puck doesn't go in. Like, if you're a leader or the best player on the team, you almost have to be, stone-faced killer when things aren't going well and when they are going well. Like, when you miss, and he was doing this a few years ago, he felt like he got away from it, but it feels like it's back again, like the looking up to the right. Oh, my God. Like, that body language is everything in sports. And I tell, my son is 13, and I tell him, your body language, you got to fix it, bro. You got to look like you want to be here. And that's a 13-year-old. We're talking about a 26-year-old man. That is, if your body language stinks and you're not pleased with your performance at times, what do you think everyone else is doing? Like, they're looking at you, and if you consider yourself the best player and you are the highest or one of the highest paid players and you are considered by some people to be a leader on the team, you can't be emotional with every single thing that doesn't go right. Like, you have to have something about you that, damn it, I missed it. All right, fellas, get next one. Let's go. Next play mentality. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be successful, and your team isn't either, because people, right or wrong or indifferent, when you make a lot of money, we looking at your ass.
Right.
What you doing?
Right.
You gonna score? Or you gonna bitch and complain every time you don't?
Yeah.
Come on, man. We're looking at you because you got the most money on the team. We know that. We know. I tell people when we were playing first payday, we would go around the locker room. Hey, let me see your check, man. Like, damn, you got 15. Oh, that's a lot of money right there. Like, the first check, that's a lot. That's more than I'm going to get this whole year. That's $300,000, huh? You get that every 2 weeks? Good God. We know who's, but you know what? Your check tells me your ass better be playing at a high level, because if you ain't, damn it, we going to have problems. And that's where Robert Thomas sits in the hierarchy of, if I'm not playing well, I'm being paid well, and my my demeanor every time I don't, oh God, get your ass off the ice then. Like that you can't have that emotional roller coaster as a star or highest paid player. You got to be even keel, because everybody, whether you know it or whether you like it, they're looking at you and trying to figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem right now.
Yeah, I think that's well said.
I got nothing, Anthony. I think
Carey nailed it.
I mean, the guy played in a locker room with professionals, and you know, I feel like that does go a long way, and I think it's something that maybe we don't see as fans.
Marsh right there was James Carville in Old School after Will Ferrell completely blacked out, gave the perfect answer. James Carville went to the mic and goes, I got nothing. That was perfect. That was Marsh. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. CD was just talking about his days in the NFL. Well, his former quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, kind of had an interesting idea if he was a GM in the NFL and how he would build a team. It's out of the box, but would it work? That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie Rivers traveling with the Blues, and I don't know, we'll see him at some point. I think tomorrow he'll be on with us for a little bit, at least via his hotel room. All right. Speaking of Jamie, he actually was the one that sent this out. Ben Roethlisberger discussed on his pod yesterday that if you were a GM, he says, I would not draft a quarterback for at least 2 to 3 years. That's just my opinion. I think as a GM, if I'm GMing this team, the issue that I see with a lot of teams is that they get a quarterback and they try and build around that quarterback. I think it should be the other way around. I think you should build the team and put your quarterback in it. Okay, it happened to me. They had a great football team. They plugged me in. We had a veteran group. It just works. It works better than trying to grab a quarterback and be, okay, we're going to build around this quarterback, because then it's going to take you 4 or 5 years to build around that quarterback. He's probably going to look like poo up to it, and then you're like, is he really our guy? Is he not our guy? I think in theory, it's interesting, and it's outside of the box. I think in reality, it just doesn't work. And the biggest reason why it doesn't work is that it's much more difficult to build an entire roster and then simply plug in the quarterback than to have success right away with a quarterback that's got a lot of talent and can elevate a roster. For example, Jaden Daniels took a Washington Commanders team that, because they were choosing number 2 overall last year, proved that they were not a good football team. They didn't suddenly and magically get better overnight because of one offseason. They got better because Jaden Daniels was one of the better quarterbacks in the league last year. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. Because they did not build the roster better this offseason, and Daniels got hurt, they became a bad football team again. Mm-hmm. I get it. Big Ben says, I got drafted mid-first round with the Steelers. They already had a good team. Plug and play. Okay.
They didn't have, I mean, the year before he got there, they were 6-10.
Okay. So
that's why they were drafting. He was picked 12th overall.
There you go.
Listen, I don't think GMs have 2 to 3 years to wait to get the quarterback.
Right.
Like, I think you go 6-10, 5 or 6-11 now, 5-12, 7-10 in those 3 years. You're probably going to be looking for a new job while you were building your roster to get the quarterback, because who the hell wins without a quarterback, man?
Right.
Like, I think it's extremely difficult, and I understand the mindset, but that's probably in a world where you're guaranteed 4 to 5 years as a head coach and a GM pairing. And I don't think people have enough patience to see, losing seasons, 2 or 3 of them in a row, and say, all right, the hell what are we doing here? Like, it's time to go in a different direction. Raheem Morris is probably a perfect example of that. They were 8-9 this year and tied for the number 1 overall in the division. And he got fired 2 years into his tenure. Like, I don't think you're guaranteed to have 2 to 3 years to try to figure out your quarterback. And they actually drafted a quarterback and he got hurt. And signed one. So I think it's very difficult to go that route. I understand the philosophy. Your best bet is to hit on a quarterback, and in that 5-year, 4-year window,
build the best roster.
You can, because that's before you have to pay your quarterback $60 million a year.
Yep.
And once that number hits, bye-bye to some of those veterans, some of those really good players, re-signing some of the really good players. Or you can do what the Bengals did, re-sign everybody on the offense and say the hell with the offensive line, and then your quarterback never plays because he's always injured.
Or when he does play, he's got to put up 34 points a game.
Because you don't have a defense either.
Yeah.
So the best way, in my opinion, is to, like I said, get that entire team set while that rookie quarterback is still on that rookie deal. You got 3 to 4 years to figure it out, to maximize everything you have in that quarterback and your roster before it makes a drastic shift and you have to start paying him 20% of the salary cap. And now you got to figure out how to allocate funds to still get good enough players around you, but be able to find a way to win games.
We have Prove Me Wrong coming up in less than 10 minutes. So if you want to start getting some Prove Me Wrong statements to 314-399-9646, it's the Air Comfort Service text line. to prove me wrong, you send in a text and then Carey or I will have to defend, basically try to prove you wrong, and then Marsh will judge whether or not we did. I also find it kind of ironic that Ben Roethlisberger said he would do it this way. And again, he's saying build the roster first, then find the QB. Haven't the Steelers been trying to do that exact thing?
I don't know what they've been doing.
But I mean, in reality, like over the last 5-6 years since Ben Roethlisberger retired, they've had a good roster, and they continue to build the roster. Mm-hmm. And they try to just simply plug and play with the quarterback, whether it's Kenny Pickett or whoever, and it hasn't worked. Mm. That's because you never know when the franchise quarterback is going to be available.
Right.
And whether or not you believe that he can develop into a franchise quarterback. You have to recognize that guy, recognize that he's available, and then either go up and get him or figure out a way to trade for him.
He got to be a good player. You got to be good enough.
So you don't have the time, like you're saying, CD, to build a complete roster first, then simply slide in the quarterback. And again, the Steelers have really proven to you that even if you have a good roster,
right,
if you don't have the QB, it's not going to matter. And you can't just simply slide somebody in there because you're not going to be drafting high enough to get a stud.
Yeah, I wonder if this just works with all-time quarterbacks, right? Like I look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2019. PFF had them ranked in like the top 10 for their offensive line. And their defense in terms of yards per game, they're like middle of the pack, points per game towards the bottom. But then you bring in Tom Brady. That team went 7-9 in 2019, came in third place in the NFC South. Mm-hmm. And then the next year they won the Super Bowl.
Right.
I look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs were a really good team. They just really couldn't get over the hump when Alex Smith was quarterback. All of a sudden, here comes Patrick Mahomes, mm-hmm. and we know what happened there. Ben Roethlisberger was an awesome quarterback.
Yeah.
Those don't exist. Like, 15 of those don't exist in the NFL. There's maybe like 7 to 10, right? Maybe.
Yeah, like franchise-altering quarterbacks.
He's one of those guys.
Right.
Like he won in his second year in the NFL.
The wide majority of the quarterbacks in the league are good, but need a lot of help around them. And that's not to say that they're not good enough. Then it's just that's just the reality of it. Patrick Mahomes can elevate a roster that, quite frankly, isn't that great. I think it's an average roster in Kansas City, and it's an average roster because of what Carey said. You had to pay the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Buffalo Bills, same deal. Josh Allen elevated that roster.
And that team was terrible when he came in.
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they were picking 8th when they got him. So, again, idea that kind of works in theory, looks good on paper. Hey, it's kind of creative. I just don't think it works in reality.
I agree.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's do Prove Me Wrong next. Again, get those Prove Me Wrong statements into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Carey and I will attempt to prove you wrong and in the eyes of Andrew Marsh next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues lost to the Winnipeg Jets last night. 3-1 the final. Blues will be back in action on Friday, taking on the Dallas Stars. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll talk with Joe Vitale later in the show at 5 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. But coming up next, we have Prove Me Wrong. So get your Prove Me Wrong statements into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll play Prove Me Wrong next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
That's right, time for Prove Me Wrong. This is where you send in a statement to the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646, and either CD or I will have to pick up the case, tell you why you're wrong, and then the judge, Andrew Marsh, will rule on whether or not we did a good enough job. So, Judge, we appreciate you being here today, and we're ready for our first case.
All right, let's start
Glad
off.
you made it back from Russia.
Oh my gosh,
You got it.
That
He
is
looked
crazy.
like you, didn't he?
He did, yeah,
He kind
yeah.
of favored you. I was like,
Yeah,
I sent the group
beard.
a text with all the snow that's in Russia. Some guys had tunneled their way through to their car, and they had the camera on him, and he turned left, and I said, holy crap, that's Marshy.
It looked almost identical to Andrew Marsh, beard and everything.
It's the beard.
I actually, before I let her see your message, I showed my phone to Chris and I said, "Who does that look like?" She goes, "Oh, Marsh." Immediately. That's funny.
I did see a video of, I never know what's real and what's fake these days. But based on what you sent me, I believe that this other video that I saw is real, where these people, like, the snow is at the top of this like apartment complex, and they're like sledding from like the roof all the way down because
insane.
there's that much snow, and there's like multiple levels to this apartment complex.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of snow.
A lot of snow. All right, let's move on. From the 314, the Texans would have won the Super Bowl if it weren't for C.J. Stroud, and the 314 compares his play to that of a donkey.
Well, the Rams are still in the playoffs. I mean, they may have made it to the Super Bowl had C.J. Stroud thrown it to the correct color, but the Rams are still in the playoffs, and they are my favorite to make it now due to the fact that the Houston Texans and that elite defense, and that is an elite defense, is no longer in the playoffs. The Los Angeles Rams going to Seattle this weekend. We know Sam Darnold struggles against the Los Angeles Rams, the only teams he struggles against. I mean, we saw it last year. Marshy was sick about it, the way that he performed for his Minnesota Vikings. I get this guy out of here, but here he is again.
No way Sam Darnold's going to win a Super Bowl.
No way Sam Darnold wins a Super Bowl. So the Los Angeles Rams going into Seattle with that team, and Puka Nacua, who's guarding him? Nobody. Not nobody, not anybody. So the Texans may have had a chance, but it would have stopped right there in the Super Bowl. So it didn't matter that C.J. Stroud played that poorly.
Carey, you make a great argument. And I don't know if we've done this before, but I have some incriminating evidence from one Carey Davis on January 18th of 2026 at 1:59 p.m. in reference to the Houston Texans. They're winning the Super Bowl. Carey.
It was because they had the music. It reminded me of the Steelers. We had Country Thursday. They played their music. It was that. I didn't know C.J. Stroud was going to show up. The hell was he doing?
That's rough, man.
What was he doing? He turned the ball over that many times in 2 damn games.
He's from New England, so
He must be. He's from, like, Georgia.
I think he is. Felt like he was from New England. The way he was playing. I mean, right from the get-go, too. Bootleg, throwing on
He
the
threw it
run.
behind-
He
what
threw
are you
behind
doing?
Hutchinson. I mean, right out of the gates.
I think his hand was broke. He didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, maybe. That's the story I'd be going with. My hand was broke, guys.
My strong hand.
Well, if it's not, it's going to be broke now.
Now, I gave you guys the buzzer. That team was not winning the Super Bowl. I gave you the ding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They haven't even. They've never won a divisional playoff game.
Yeah.
You got to win one of those first.
Yeah. And then, of course, the
Then you got to win
championship.
exactly.
And then, of course, the Super Bowl.
100%.
Yeah. Good call, Judge.
All right, Bacon Wrapped Wiener wants to know if you can prove him wrong. Prove me wrong. Yadier Molina, the hire is a precursor to him being the manager in the next 3 years.
I don't think that Yadier Molina. I think Yadier Molina would be a phenomenal manager from a baseball standpoint. I don't know if Yadier Molina would want to deal with the media because it's all encompassing. You can't just not do the media sessions. By the way, before and after every single game. Every single game. That's a huge component to it. I think he'd be a phenomenal baseball mind. I think he would work very well with the young players. I think he would hold them accountable. I think young players would want to not disappoint Yadier because he will hold them accountable, but I can't get past the media aspect of Yadi having to deal with the media every single day. Huge part of the role as a manager. Plus, Bloom wasn't here. He wasn't here in St. Louis. So that tie wasn't there either. Thank you.
I'm also banking on the Cardinals being really good in these 3 years.
Oh, nice, Judge. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
well, they got a good core. A promising core.
You established that yesterday, despite what the people in the snake pit were telling you yesterday.
Well, they were saying some other things, and you should, you watch yourself, buddy. Be nice. Be kind.
Yeah.
Speaking of the snake pit, Gator says, going back to your findings, Judge.
Yeah.
On CD,
Of course.
Gator says, nice show prep,
It
Marsh.
was like a setup, actually.
Marsh, you going to the tape? Gator says.
I should have kept my mouth shut. He didn't give me all the evidence, in a court case. You got to give me the evidence that you're going to be presenting.
He had it.
And
Unfortunately,
he did not show it to me.
No, he didn't have to. He's a judge.
Kind of the opposing.
He made his ruling.
I can do whatever I want.
Clearly.
All right, the Frito Man wants to know. Prove me wrong. Brendan Donovan stays with the Cardinals and is an all-star again this year.
Brendan Donovan stays and is an all-star this year? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Brendan Donovan is one of the Cardinals' best players. Therefore, in a rebuilding year, it would make more sense to trade him to continue to acquire more and more talent. Because as we know, one of Bloom's biggest challenges is to repopulate the farm system and get that pipeline going again between the minors and the big leagues. And he knows that Brendan Donovan might not, his trajectory might not be on the same path of when the Cardinals are legit contenders. Now, Judge, I agree with you. I think they're going to be more competitive than what other people think. There's a difference between being a competitor and being competitive and being a contender. I just don't think the timelines match, so I think Donovan will be dealt.
From the 636, prove me wrong. Buffalo Bills fans are the most tortured in the NFL, more so than the Browns. The Browns fans are, because they get so close and then they have their guts ripped out every time.
Most tortured fan base, if you are actually a fan, is you got to be Cleveland Browns, man. They never have a chance to win. You got the New York Jets. They don't ever have a chance to win either. You got a couple of real fan bases that are struggling, man. Every year you go into the season with some hope, and you're a Browns fan, and you're telling me that Dylan Gabriel was your hope. Joe Flacco, he's out there on a cane, man. Like this guy's old as hell. He's as old as me, damn near. And I ain't played in 15 years.
Yeah.
Still plugging away. And you're telling me that fan base in Buffalo, who has one of who won the MVP last year?
Josh Allen.
Okay, that fan base is distraught and hurt every single year. Nah, you got a chance going into the season. you got a chance to buy your tickets and be excited about what's going to take place. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you're a Browns fan, you're excited about this? You looked at that roster and said, this is the year, fellas. No, you didn't. You never said they've had 50 quarterbacks since like 2000 and 10 coaches since like 2020. Like, come on, man. There's no way in hell you're a Bills fan and you're more distraught than being a Browns fan. It's not happening. And I got friends that are Browns fans that will attest to that. It is grief year after year. But as a child, a young lad, some young man started watching that Browns team and they said, yeah, I like them. And now they're stuck rooting for this Browns team year after year. And here they are. It's never going to be great for them, man. No, hell no. Bills, you went to 4 Super Bowls at one point. You should be excited.
Carey, you make an excellent point, and I'm bringing more evidence to the table, and it comes from the Air Comfort Service text line, from the Frito man. Judge, don't forget us Cowboys fans with Jerry Jones.
This is true.
And with that, congratulations, gentlemen. I think today was a good
Nice
prove me
job,
wrong
guys.
day.
Nice job.
Outside of Carey's text from
That was incriminating evidence, unfortunately. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
You know, if I could put my hat in for Falcon fans as well, if I may, guys. Before the first Super Bowl we went to, our Walter Payton Man of the Year decided to hit the streets in Miami and got himself arrested by an undercover cop who was, as he tried to solicit what he thought was a prostitute. Spent the night in jail, didn't get any sleep, and then gave up a big touchdown to Shannon Sharp the next day in the Super Bowl in an absolute blowout for the Broncos.
In fairness to them, they shouldn't even been there, but that's another story.
You shut your mouth.
A franchise. You want to know why they were there, right?
Yeah.
Let me take it to my team now.
The old tortured Viking fan there. Where they blew a lead in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Kicker hadn't missed a kick all year.
Of course.
And what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Why don't we just interview the head coach and ask him about the Super Bowl before they're actually there?
Yeah. When will you go? Pam Oliver to the late, great Denny Green. When are you going to the Super Bowl? She asked. When are you leaving for the Super Bowl? Before the NFC Championship game.
That's not good.
No, at all.
Now, I wasn't a Vikings fan at that point.
No,
so
but you're right. There's some misery
I won't claim
there.
that.
Yeah.
However, nothing's changed.
Well, I'll see your 1998 NFC Championship and raise you with a franchise league-altering quarterback who was hauled to federal prison because of a dogfighting ring. Same franchise there. The 28-3 is just a layup at this point in the Super Bowl. Also, don't forget they blew a NFC Championship lead against the 49ers. 17-point lead in the first half of that one. Colin Kaepernick and company came back in that. This is it's been good.
Well, Anthony,
8 straight years.
If I may, Hall of Fame quarterback in field goal range, 3rd and 15 with room to run, and throws a ball across his body, gets it picked off, and then they lose the NFC Championship game. Yep. Or how about a chance to go to the Super Bowl, host said Super Bowl, and then lose to a backup quarterback?
Who would not have been there had the Falcons gained 3 yards the week before. It all connected, Carey.
That would have been a great NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that would have been the Falcons bouncing back from the 28-3 to make it to the NFC Championship game in Minnesota.
Yeah, I wonder who ultimately wins that football game.
I don't know. That would have been a decent game, I would think.
Just a bunch of missed field goals.
Probably. Awful. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Speaking of Buffalo, please tell me you guys, not you guys, but the listeners, please tell me you heard some of the comments made by the Bills owner. If you haven't, you're not going to want to miss this, and why he felt as though that Sean McDermott should have been fired, and perhaps even more bizarre, when Sean McDermott was actually fired. That's next on 101 ESPN.
There is no better time of the year than right now with the NFL playoffs going on, NHL, hockey, basketball, college football just ended, but no better place as well to place all of your bets than with Circa Sports. That's right. Circa Sports now available in the state of Missouri. And it's pretty easy. All you have to do is go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, punch in Circa Sports. It's a white logo. Click on the white logo. That's for the state of Missouri. And then you're off and running. Then you can check out all the futures bets that are available. And don't forget, Circa has tight money line splits as well. And they always have
Can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taken advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
He's taking heat because he's the GM. That was Bills owner, Terry Pegula, talking about what happened with Keon Coleman when he was drafted. Keon Coleman, after the Bills had traded some picks, they had moved down and they had the number one pick in the second round. Mm-hmm. So the top pick in the second round, and they took wide receiver Keon Coleman out of Florida State. Keon Coleman has not developed for the Bills. They've needed wide receivers. He was supposed to be the guy. He's not been anything close to number one wide receiver. So what Pegula was saying there, was that, you know what? Don't blame general manager Brandon Beane, because Brandon Beane didn't even want that guy, who, by the way, is still on the roster.
Right.
It was the coach that is fired. It was the coach's fault.
Now, I forgot to mention this to y'all because I did see a couple of videos like during the break where they said Brandon Beane is lying. Like, they're lying about Brandon Beane because Brandon Beane actually, they got a video of him at the combine when Keon Coleman runs his 4.57, and Brandon Beane says something along the lines, oh, that's good. That means other people ain't going to want him. We can get him. They were comparing him to Gabe Davis, who ran a 4.54. He's like, that's about what Gabe ran. We're good. Who Gabe Davis caught those huge touchdowns for the Buffalo Bills in his tenure there. And then there's another video where they're in the draft room. It looks like they're in the draft room. Brandon is talking to Laura Pegula, who is Terry's daughter, the owner's daughter. She's asking, well, who are you drafting? He makes a joke like, we get overwhelmed. It depends on if we get some. Nah, we're going to get Keon Coleman. Like he's literally saying it. Like, so you got two separate videos. One, I do believe, is at the draft, and they look like they're watching him run. Or maybe it's a pro day. I don't know. And then the other one in the draft room, again, this is what it looks like. And he's saying, yeah, we're going with Keon Coleman. So Terry might be out of the loop. Maybe Terry doesn't know that cameras are readily available everywhere. You know? And people are recording. But it looked like it was for NFL film, so hell, who knows, man?
Come on, man.
Like, this is a bleep show.
It is a bad look.
It is.
It's
really
a bad look at best. You're right. It's a strong indication that the Bills are a bigger mess than what we think, and really goes to show you that Josh Allen has masked a lot. A mess. I mean.
This is the same guy that owns the Buffalo Sabres, by the way.
Yes, but in his defense, a winning organization over the years, Marsh. I mean, they're consistently in the playoffs.
Here he goes again.
I think he's got he's gaslighting you again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the Pittsburgh Penguins. That was my fault. You said Buffalo Sabres. Okay.
That's not even the bad part.
Right.
Like, we haven't even gotten to, you fired your coach allegedly right after the game. Maybe in the locker room. Maybe right when the emotions are at their rawest. And this is, again, what Terry Pegula said. I did not fire coach based on bad officiating decision. Talking about the catch, non-catch, or catch interception that was taken away from the Buffalo Bills in
interception gate is what the kids are calling it.
That's what some people call it. If I can take you into that locker room, I felt like we hit a proverbial playoff wall year after year. 13 seconds. That's the Kansas City game. Missed field goals, the catch, you're just talking about. So I sensed that in that locker room. Where do we go from here with what we have? And that was the basis for my decision. Mm-hmm. He also mentioned that Josh Allen was crying and some of the other players was crying, and that kind of tugged at his heartstrings.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yep.
And that also went into the decision for why I should fire, I don't know, maybe the second best coach we've had in ever, Bob.
Yep.
That's very intriguing.
So paint the scene. Paint the scene. Okay, you're in Denver. Devastating loss. You're fresh off the devastating loss. Players are emotionally upset because their season's over with. Josh Allen's crying at the podium because he feels as though he's let his teammates down. Mm-hmm. You're the owner. You walk into that locker room. You're looking around. You're seeing some guys just their hearts are on the floor, and you think that is the best time to go over to Sean McDermott, who's red hot after he just says, I'm sticking up for Buffalo, damn it. And you look him right in the face and say, you're done.
At least he made it to the locker room.
Very true.
Some don't.
Some get
right.
caught at the field goal post and they say, hey, you're no longer needed here.
We're done
or
here.
They don't let you on the plane to go home.
But yeah, right. Left you right at the tarmac. For the record, I don't blame the Bills for moving on from Sean McDermott. It's less time, but it's in the same vein of the Ravens moving on from John Harbaugh. They felt as though that John Harbaugh was not going to get that roster, a very talented roster, where it needed to go. And they'd rather dive into the unknown than run it back and have the same process play out again. I don't blame the Bills for moving on from Sean McDermott. Full stop on that. But the way that they are positioning this, where it's like
you're blaming Sean McDermott.
Mad at us?
Yeah.
McDermott's the problem. He's the villain.
Yeah.
It was him that wanted Keon Coleman. Video will tell you otherwise.
Did Keon catch a touchdown in that game?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Should have caught two, honestly.
Should have. Well, one of them, it got called back either way.
That's true. There's a penalty on that.
There was a penalty on him.
But this is not how you operate. If you want to give the media the truth, quote unquote, you find a reporter, you pull them aside, you say, hey, off the record, but you can run it.
Right.
It was actually so-and-so that stood on the table. Brandon Beane acquiesced, and they got Keon Coleman. Just so you know what the true story is. Right. That is how good organizations use the media
somebody
to
you
get
trust.
their message out.
Right.
Yeah, somebody they trust. Yep. Off the record.
That's not true either, because it's literally video of Brandon Beane saying, hey, he ran slower than we expected. Nobody's going to want him. Yeah. We got him now, guys.
Maybe there's a reason why nobody wanted him.
Oh, gosh. I think he's still a good player. I wouldn't be so quick to write him off yet.
Well, maybe he needs a change of scenery. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or a change of coaches.
Maybe.
Well, he will.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, if I'm Keon Coleman, I'm calling my agent and say, hey, let's get out of here. Yeah. They didn't want me? Okay. Let's move on.
618 brings up a good point. Well, the owner also stated that he was fired because he couldn't win with such a good staff and team. And now he's knocking one of the players on that team.
Yeah.
So that kind of doesn't make sense.
Choose a lane, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
He's probably wishes he could right now. We do need a new Gauntlet contestant, 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. We've got the Gauntlet coming up. If you want to play, text in. We'll do the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in. Take your shot on an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. And we were talking about those Broncos. They're taking on the Patriots, two really good defenses. Maybe you want to go under in the points scored in that game. Maybe you want to go over in an interception pick for one of the quarterbacks. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane, where it's 4:04. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers today. But we got Todd on the line to play in the Gauntlet. What's up, Todd?
What's going on, boys?
Not much, man. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks for playing today. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me in round 1?
I'm going to go Carey.
Carey Davis.
Good luck, Todd.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
All right, so Carey's going to head into the cone of silence right now. Todd, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that thing.
Is this the Todd of Gauntlet lore?
Yes.
Okay. We got our work cut out for us here, boys. Todd, I believe I think you won the first ever Gauntlet. Is that correct?
I did indeed. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Exactly.
It gets no better than this. Then we got our old nemesis Todd on the line here. Marsh.
Todd.
So can I request a topic?
Request a topic.
Yeah.
Oh, for later in the show, or you talking about
just to
the
say
category?
which one what category I want.
You can tell us which one you hope for. Yeah.
I'm hoping for meats snack category.
Maybe we can bring that back at some point for
Right.
a callback. What are the 4 categories were you hoping for? Wheel is sponsor. I already know what it is. I got the questions in front of me.
I'm just going to say random, just because it's a random kind of Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. Category is actually baseball today. Baseball. Right. So, as you know, Todd, you're going to get 4 baseball-related questions. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Indeed.
Here we go. Brand new Hall of Famer Andrew Jones is one of only 6 outfielders to win 10 or more Gold Gloves. Can you tell us the organization with which Jones finished his major league career?
Oh, man, he played for Atlanta. Oh, man, I know this. I'm going to say Atlanta. Final answer. Darn it.
Question number 2. Earlier this week, righty Bryce Miller and the Mariners avoided arbitration, agreeing to a 1-year contract. In 2024, Miller's teammate Logan Gilbert led the American League in innings pitched. Who finished second that season with over 200 frames of his own?
What division was it?
I'll read it again. We're going to skip the Bryce Miller part. In 2024, Logan Gilbert led the American League in innings pitched. Who finished second that season with over 200 frames of his own?
Ohtani, what the heck? Final answer.
All right, Todd. Question number 3. Who crushed the longest Ding Dong Johnson of the 2025 season, which traveled 493 feet on September 13th?
Oh, wow. What year was it again? This year?
Yeah, this year. 2025 season, September 13th. The longest home run.
I'll take options.
Nick Kurtz, or Kurtz.
Kurtz.
Kurtz, excuse me. Yeah, I had it right the first time. Nick Kurtz, Aaron Judge, Byron Buxton.
Buxton, final answer.
And question number 4. From 1990 through 1995, who led all MLB catchers with 99 home runs?
90 through what?
1990 through 1995.
Catcher. Oh, wow. 1990. Gosh darn. I have no idea.
Would you like the options?
Yeah, at this point. Gosh darn it. Sorry.
All right, your options are Darren Dalton, Sandy Alomar Jr., or Todd Hundley.
Well, I got to go with the Todd.
Todd Hundley?
Yeah, final answer. Darn it. That's probably wrong.
All right, well, we'll see how CD does here. We're going to welcome him back in from the cone of silence.
These are tough.
Cool.
Yeah, this is a tough one today. All right, CD's walking back in. And I believe he was in the cone of silence, which is absolutely silent today.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
All by myself.
Carey, your category today is baseball.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
All right. Pack a lunch.
Okay.
Question 1. Brand new Hall of Famer Andrew Jones is one of only 6 outfielders to win 10 or more Gold Gloves. Can you tell us the organization with which Jones finished his major league career?
I was just looking it up earlier. I have no clue. I would say the Braves. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't think it matters if you give me the options. Atlanta Braves. Final answer, because I don't know.
Question number 2. Earlier this week, righty Bryce Miller and the Mariners avoided arbitration, agreeing to a 1-year contract. In 2024, Miller's teammate Logan Gilbert led the American League in innings pitched. Who finished second that season with over 200 frames of his own?
Can you just read the last part of that question? Because I struggled during my ACT because of stuff like that. I don't know what the hell you said, but I think the last part is all I needed. I think the first stuff was just filler.
The last sentence or
Not
question.
the last sentence. Just give me the nuts and bolts.
The nuts and bolts. In 2024, Logan Gilbert led the American League in innings pitched, who finished second that season with over 200 frames of his own.
In 2024. Okay, give me the options.
Options are Nestor Cortez, Seth Lugo, or Tarek Skubal.
Nestor Cortez, who was Tarek Skubal, and who else?
Seth Lugo.
Let's go with Lugo. Final answer.
Question 3. Who crushed the longest Ding Dong Johnson of the 2025 season, which traveled 493 feet back on September 13th?
I feel like that was Ellie. But I would be so mad if he's not on the options. I think it's Ellie De La Cruz. Give me the options.
Nick Kurtz, Aaron Judge, Byron Buxton.
Okay, I'm glad I did take the options. Nick Kurtz, Byron Buxton, or Aaron Judge?
Yep.
I'm going to get Aaron Judge out of there just because I'm going to go the Anthony Stalter method. It's too obvious. Give me Kurtz. Final answer.
Question number 4. From 1990 through 1995, who led all MLB catchers with 99 home runs?
Through what year?
1990 through 1995.
All MLB catchers with 99 home runs? Options.
Options are Darren Dalton, Sandy Alomar Jr., or Todd Hundley.
Darren Dalton. Ooh, these are some really difficult questions, gentlemen. Jesus. Sandy Alomar Jr. Give me the options one more time.
Darren Dalton, Sandy Alomar Jr., or Todd Hundley.
I really want to go Dalton. Give me Darren Dalton. Final answer. Probably should have went with my gut. You know what I mean, Anthony? That's another Stalter rule. These are some really, really... I was wondering, Todd was in there for a long time. Like, man, it must be random. No, these questions are random as hell. Baseball random.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over these.
Good luck,
Todd.
brother.
Todd versus Carey.
I see you all in a minute. I'll be back there.
Okay. Brand new Hall of Famer Andrew Jones is one of only 6 outfielders to win 10 or more Gold Gloves. Can you tell us the organization with which Jones finished his major league career? Without the options, you both said the Atlanta Braves. Carey even said if I took the options, it ain't going to matter.
Were the Braves an option?
No, sir. Correct answer is
the New York Yankees.
the New York Yankees.
Oh, too obvious, huh?
2011, 2012. Yeah, no, your options were Dodgers, Rangers, Yankees. For Andrew Jones.
I wouldn't have said Dodgers. So I'd have had a 50-50 shot there. Okay.
All right, I'll skip the Bradford Bruns wording on this. I'll just go right to the back half here. In 2024, Bryce Miller's teammate, Logan Gilbert, led the American League in innings pitched, who finished second that season with over 200 frames of his own. Todd, without the options, took a shot in the dark, said Shohei Ohtani. Not an option. Correct answer is... I'm sorry, actually, hold on here. Carey said Seth Lugo. Correct answer is...
It is Seth Lugo.
It is Seth Lugo. 206 and 2/3 innings of work. Carey is now up 1-0.
Feels good.
Massive lead.
A massive lead. Who crushed the longest Ding Dong Johnson of 2025? Traveled 493 feet on September 13th. Todd, listened to the options, went with Byron Buxton. Carey went with the options, eliminated the obvious choice of Aaron Judge, or at least he thinks, and went with Nick Kurtz. Correct answer is...
It is Kurtz.
It is Nick Kurtz, the outlier, so to speak. So Carey's up 2-0. Final question from 1990 through 1995. Who led all MLB catchers with 99 home runs? Todd said, I got to go with another Todd. He chose Todd Hundley. Carey said Sandy Alomar Jr., then said, I want to go with Darren Daulton. I don't know if I should trust my gut. Darren Daulton. Correct answer is...
You got to trust your gut. It's Darren Daulton.
Todd.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Never pick a Todd.
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
That was awful.
That was
good
tough.
job, Todd. That was
brutal.
That was tough.
Good work, dude.
Thank you. You too.
Todd, good to hear from you again, man. Hope all is well.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, take care.
All right, be safe.
See ya. You too.
Thanks, Todd.
Carey, I mean, I know it's tough. You did quite well. You got 3 of the 4.
I did not know. It was good guesses.
Yeah, you guessed well.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you guessed well.
First half of that question, you lost me.
Well, what's funny is that Todd asked if Marsh could repeat it, and Marsh literally goes, I'm just going to eliminate this first part because it doesn't matter. Yeah, the snake pit, including Ellipsis 150, all over it. All over it. Didn't like the wordy question there.
That's a lot.
It is. It certainly is. But Carey, nice job, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
3-0. You thought you were heading to the penalty box. You're going to sit your ass right there.
I am.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to go downstairs and get my food. Then I'll sit here.
Either way.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Will fans in St. Louis eventually give the Blues the Cardinals treatment? A lot of love, support, loyalty? Blues already got that, Marsh.
Oh,
you mean something else? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh. Guys, as we know, the Cardinals, I'll call it their demise, right? Their demise. People have been upset with the Cardinals for, 5 to 10 years now?
I think it's fair.
The Blues
They've
not
been frustrated. They've been exasperated by the Cardinals. Yes, go ahead.
We've seen this coming, the lack of attendance, people really not caring as much. That's not really the case, though, with the Blues.
No.
Not yet. Do you think that in the future, maybe the not so distant future, fans here in St. Louis will ultimately give the Cardinals or give the Blues the Cardinals treatment?
I think that wins and losses directly equate to or correlate to whether or not there's people in the stands, right? If you're winning, people show up. If you're losing, people have a tendency to not spend their hard-earned money or give you their time. They're not going to go to the stadium. But that's different than what the fan base is feeling when it comes to your moves, how much they're buying into your franchise and all that. I think the Cardinals slowly eroded trust within the fan base when they kept spinning the same message over and over and over again. Same message basically every offseason, which kind of equated to, hey, we're right there, or hey, we won the division last year, or hey, we're a wild card team. We just got to add one or two pieces. And save for the Goldschmidt and Arenado trades, those one or two pieces didn't equate to much. Then the trade deadline will come about, and you say, maybe this Cardinals team will be more aggressive at the trade deadline than they were in the offseason. And once again, John Mozeliak would often, not always, but often, choose the more risk-averse route. I'll add a reliever here, reliever there, and we'll be good. That is why I think the Cardinals fan base became exasperated with the organization. They were going to get the same thing over and over again, and when their expectations remained somewhat high, and of course the Cardinals they would fail to meet those expectations. Then you saw the anger come about, and then it was just like, you know what, forget it. I don't have to watch this I don't have to watch this team. I'm not going to the stadium. They're not giving me a reason to. I don't think we're going to get that there with the Blues. Mm-hmm. We might see less and less fans show up at the stadium, but again, that's different than what the temperature of the fan base is for the organization. Mm-hmm. With the Blues, I still think there's a sense of like, yeah, I'm pissed off, but man, Army is always thinking outside the box. There's some creativity. I don't always love the moves. Doesn't always make the right decisions, but at least there's something coming that's going to be different than what we've seen in years past. That's my read on it.
I don't think you'll see the same kind of philosophy or mentality for the Blues that you have seen for the Cardinals for a couple of reasons. One, it's less games to attend, right? It's so with less games means you're more than likely to want to go see it. You got 81 games in that stadium. It's hot. It's summertime, and they're not playing well. Probably not going to be. And there's less seats, right? So the Cardinals stadium, you got 45, 50,000 people, whatever, in Enterprise. I guess what, 20, 22, somewhere around there. Like, it's less people, it's less seats.
How much for
Enterprise?
It's like 20-ish. It's like somewhere around like 19 to 20.
I thought there was more.
Less games, less seats. Like, I don't think you'll have the fatigue. And then I think people became fatigued with the lack of clarity or lack of transparency from the Cardinals. Whereas I think Army is very transparent and very open and very honest. You might not like what you see, but that ain't his. I mean, you can blame him for the players that he gave contracts to, but it's not his fault that they're not playing to the level of what everyone believes is their ability. So,
especially when you saw it a year ago.
Correct. So I think that the fatigue that you have for the Cardinals it's so much, and as Marcia said, it's a number of years running. It's hot as hell in St. Louis in the summer, and you got to watch crap baseball when it's not good. Like, if it's not good and you want me to sit out here in the sun, it's 150 degrees out here, man. And they're not winning, and they're not playing well. You cannot win and play hard. But if you're not winning and not playing as hard as you think that they should, then there's a level of frustration. You're not going to show up for that. You can find other things to do, spend your $100, $200, $250 on as opposed to going there in the summertime. I mean, the zoo was free. So, you can find other things to do. Yeah. And I said there's more games in baseball, less games in hockey. I don't think that the Blues will suffer some of the same consequences that the Cardinals have suffered over the past couple of years.
But if you do go to a game and you have young children, you make them sit through that entire baseball game to teach them a lesson.
Absolutely.
Man, I was mad. I wanted to go home, man. I wanted to go home, and Anthony said, no. You make those children watch that baseball.
How do you feel now about it?
I think it was a life lesson that they will grow from.
That's right.
And be better because of.
I'm glad that I was able to point you in the right direction that night, because I also felt that way. You got to make those kids watch that game. Yeah. I certainly did when we went, and the Cardinals blew a ninth-inning lead.
See, I went to a game, and they actually won the game in the ninth inning.
What?
Yeah, I know, right?
I think I went to one as well. It was Jordan Walker had a late inning hit.
Yeah, we might have been at the same game. They played the Giants.
Yeah.
Well, look at you
late
two.
Inning hit.
Yeah, I had no idea you were at the game. We could have met up, but I guess it just wasn't in the cards that night.
Oh, I see what you did there.
We get a text from the 314. It's the opposite, though. We hated the Cardinals front office, and we are annoyed at the Blues players. Do you think that is a true statement?
I think that's mostly true. Yeah. I don't get the sense that the Cardinals fans are necessarily ticked off with the majority of the Cardinals players. Do you guys?
I mean,
I don't think there's this angst that come with it.
There's a few pitchers that I could.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm not saying there's no players
but
you're not ticked off.
That falls on the front office, right, for keeping those guys around when everybody is like, hey, maybe we should move on from this player.
When the fan base is screaming, hey, we need a couple pitchers, and Mo says, I got you too. And then he goes, but not those pitchers. Not the ones he wanted.
636 chimes in and says, the Cardinals had zero clue how to relate to fans under Mo. Flat out. Treated fans as if we didn't know what we're talking about or concerned. Clear differences from ownership's mentality.
This one's tricky because I would say that the majority of fans, and I'm kind of living this right now as I go through the angst of the Kevin Stefanski hire in Atlanta. A lot of people just absolutely hate the hire. We are often wrong as fans. Whether it's a GM hire, a head coach hire, a manager hire, a player that's signed, we're like, why would you do that? That's usually that's often our first take. Unless it's a no-brainer. You sign Bryce Harper, you sign Shohei Ohtani, that's different, right? The excitement's there. But if you get kind of a middle-of-the-road hire, signing, trade, whatever, there's that initial what the F? Let's go back to Blues fans. I remember distinctly the year that they traded for Ryan O'Reilly, Blues fans were pissed.
I mean, I wasn't.
How could not for O'Reilly. Before that.
Oh, yeah.
Because Army signed
Bozak
and he signed who?
David Perron
came back. And David Perron? Really? Really? You're going to bring him back again? And then Army made the move, and it was oh, yeah, no, this offseason looks good. My point in all this is that we are often wrong as fans. But Cardinals fans have been right for 5, 6, 7 years now. So it's even worse. We've got these strong opinions about how the organization should be run. We're pissed off. We're telling you how it's going to go down. And it does go down that way. And it's I told you.
You just got to be patient.
No. So I agree with what the texter said, and that you're made to feel like you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing, and yet fans have been right about this organization for quite a while.
MD 2020 decide to open a wound for me. Text in, imagine going to a game for a couple of hours only for it to get rained out.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Man, I was fired up.
I know. You were. That might be.
I hated that.
Carey.
I've never been more upset in my life.
Have we seen Marsh more upset, ticked off, frustrated, angry than after that?
After the game got rained out and he had to buy the beers and they didn't say anything, he felt like they knew for a couple of hours and they just left him at the stadium so that they can purchase more concessions and then tell them, hey, we ain't playing tonight. Yeah, he was pissed off. He was really mad about that one. I think he was also as mad or just maybe under that when the person stole his puzzle. Now, he was pissed off about
ridiculous. I didn't get that puzzle back, though.
Listen, I don't know who it was or what it was of, but he was bothered.
My Adam Wainwright
the
puzzle.
Audacity of someone
the 200
when
pieces.
he got up to walk away and somebody stole his puzzle. It's not like they didn't have a puzzle already. Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe they got there late.
Yeah.
Hey, whose fault is that?
You shouldn't have left your puzzle sitting there, buddy.
That is my fault. I shouldn't have done
They
that.
might have thought you were gone for the day.
You trusted your brethren, though. You thought, nobody's going to steal this puzzle. We're all Cardinals
It's just
fans.
a puzzle sitting there.
And somebody said, oh, that's 200 pieces.
That's mine.
I want that thing.
I get that puzzle.
Well, last year I got my Alec Burleson bobblehead, and I was not letting that thing go. I walked all around the stadium with that thing like it was a football.
Right
in my arms. Anthony.
There was reports that day that some bearded youngster started running around the stadium and basically shoving kids and old women to the ground, thinking, and I quote, that they were trying to steal my Alec Burleson bobblehead.
He wasn't having it.
St. Louis Star.
St. Louis Star.
Letting go of that.
No kidding. Who was it? Was it Gator that sent you his Adam Wainwright puzzle?
Oh, I can't remember who it was. I still have that puzzle.
Did you do it yet?
No,
I didn't. Hell, man.
No, it's more. It's like, do you open? You get a nice. I don't know. You remember those McFarlanes back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, I have like probably 100 of them, and none of them are opened.
You're not gonna put the puzzle together and then you can like tape it and frame it and put it up in a room somewhere?
No, I feel like it has more value if it's not opened. You know. Maybe one day I'll end up getting rid of it.
Maybe. You never know,
That
Marsh.
200-piece puzzle for those 200 wins might land me a couple bucks in a couple of years.
Just a couple.
I've got like 3 of those McFarlanes. I thought, I'm not going to open up these. These are going to be worth something someday.
That's why you never rip the tags off those Beanie Babies, Anthony.
Well,
those things go for a pretty penny these days.
That's what I'm heard. That's what I heard. My McFarlanes are 3 different versions of Michael Vick. They're not gonna. They're not gonna.
Not gonna sell.
No.
Nah, you never know.
No, I do.
Nah, you never know, man. Could come
think
back
they're
around.
worth it. Nah, I don't think so. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Which NFL head coach is already on the hot seat going into next season?
I was laughing at the text. The puzzle was abandoned. It's not their fault.
Says the person that stole said puzzle.
You know what? Let me get ahead of this real quick. I'm not going to sell the puzzle. It was a gift. That would just be a scumbag move.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
I'm just going to say that right now.
The gift was a painting, Todd. It's coming home with me. All right. Which NFL head coach, because we've already seen a bunch fired from this past season, which coaches are going into next year already on the hot seat? That's next at 101 ESPN. You know, we're all coming off the holidays a couple of weeks ago. You spent a lot of time in your house. Does your house need a bit of a refresh, maybe an upgrade? If you're feeling that way coming off the holidays, hey, the kitchen, everybody winds up in the kitchen at holiday parties and things like that. If it's a little tight, you want to maximize the space a little bit, why don't you call my friends at Mosby Building Arts? They're phenomenal. They'll have somebody come out, you just give them a call, tell them that Anthony Stalter 101 ESPN was talking about it, and once you do, they'll send somebody out there, free consultation, to walk you through some options. That's what we did in our home when we wanted to upgrade, not even upgrade, upgrade the back doors in our home, but also, man, we had a big issue when it came to the basement and some water coming through, and it was all related, and it was Mosby Building Arts that told us about that. They said, hey, here's what's going on, here's why you're getting the water in the basement. Yes, the doors are a problem, but actually some back steps were causing some issues too. I absolutely love Mosby. I love the people there. They know what they're doing. They've got great deals going on too. So if you're looking for a bit of a refresh, then call my friends at Mosby Building Arts. In fact, you can visit the website at callmosby.com. They got some inspiration there. But when you call Mosby at 314-909-1800, get the free brainstorming session. Give them a call. Tell them Stalter sent you. You're going to love what they do. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Blues lose to the Winnipeg Jets last night by a final score. They'll take on the Dallas Stars on Friday. And you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop will be at 7. Tomorrow we'll actually have some NBA action for you. I'm sure Jackson Burkett loves that. Mavs and Warriors. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock for that one. Tip-off is at 6:30. We'll also talk with Joe Vitale at 5 o'clock, but we're going to dive back into the NFL next. Which NFL head coach is on the hot seat heading into next season? I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. As Marsh just said in the SportsCenter update, which NFL coaches could already be on the hot seat or will be on the hot seat heading into next season? The one name that came to my mind first when I knew we'd be talking about this was Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. I mean, you just saw John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin and Kevin Stefanski be fired. Mike Tomlin, Mike Tomlin, Super Bowl winner. John Harbaugh, Super Bowl winner. Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year. Zach Taylor's will be the longest tenured head coach in the AFC North when next season starts. So Zach Taylor to me is probably the one that is mostly on the hot seat, but I know there's some other names too.
Oh, I think it's Zach Taylor for sure. He's the number one name. You can have an entirely new crew of coaches in 2027 from 2 years ago, 2 years prior. So he would be the number one for me. And then I think Dan Quinn is also on that list as well.
Agree.
I think he's had a really good year in Jaden Daniels' first year, dealt with a lot of injuries this year. Not his fault, but I just think he's one of those coaches where if you can't get the most out of Jaden Daniels in his second or third year, you might be looking at, we need to hire an offensive coordinator type mind to get the most out of him, because we talked about it earlier, being on that rookie contract, still having another year left. You want to try to maximize what you can out of that. So for me, it would be those two. Hell, everybody else been fired already. Mm-hmm. You got 10 places that were looking for jobs this season. Right. So that's a third of the league, damn near. Who else is on that? Maybe Todd Bowles.
Oh, I can see that one. That's a good one.
If things don't go well in Tampa for them, maybe Todd Bowles, but I think everyone else is pretty much set in their role or their job.
Ooh, I got one.
Can I run through some names and you guys say whether or not you believe that this person is on the hot seat or not?
I got one, though, I'd like to throw to that if maybe he's on the list.
I'll run through the names that we have not said yet.
Okay.
Matt LaFleur in Green Bay.
He just got an extension.
No, he's going to get an extension. Yeah.
He just got it.
There you go. Okay, easy. Don't be on me.
I didn't mean it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That doesn't mean everything.
Over the weekend, I think the reports were that the Packers were going to.
I thought they gave it to him.
Give him a 3-year extension or something.
Okay, so we'll cross him off.
We'll cross him off then.
Nick Sirianni.
That's the one. That's the name I was thinking of.
Okay.
You guys hate Nick. You specifically hate Nick Sirianni.
How do you call him Olive Garden?
You did.
I apologize about
Olive
that.
Garden
And then I picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
It's really, really disheartening how much you hate Nick Sirianni.
All right. Let's just have an adult conversation about it, okay?
All right, let's do it.
What does Nick Sirianni do? Like, what does he do well? What do you do around here,
He inspires the people around him, man.
Does he?
Now, it's not his fault. It's not his fault that every other year or every year he has to hire a new offensive coordinator because he's either that damn good or that damn bad. That's not his fault. Maybe it is. It actually might be his fault when they're that bad. But they have had offensive coordinators every year. Like, literally,
it's a really good roster.
The last 6 years.
That elevates their head coach.
Yeah. So what do you mean? What does he do? You're the CEO of the team.
Yeah?
Yeah. You win divisions and go to Super Bowls.
Let me ask you this then.
You want to fire Nick Sirianni?
Let me ask you this.
Shame.
Let me ask you this. Let's say Nick Sirianni is fired. How many teams are lining up to get Nick Sirianni?
How many teams have availability?
Let's say 4.
2.
Thank you. And I think you're high.
I'm not high. I've been drinking soda.
No, I think you're high.
Water.
I think you're a little high with the 2.
Oh, okay.
You know, like John Harbaugh hits the open market. Mike Tomlin hits the open market. It's like every team is in line.
I would say I would love to see Mike Tomlin in Philadelphia if Nick Sirianni got fired.
Nah, he's going to Washington.
Mike Tomlin?
Yes.
Why the hell would he do that?
He's from there.
So what? He lived in Pennsylvania for 20 years,
Yeah,
damn near.
he's seen it enough.
Not the eastern side of the state, Anthony. It's completely different, trust me.
What about Shane Steichen?
No, I think the Colts will be patient with Shane Steichen.
Even with the draft picks that they got rid of?
Well, it's not his fault, right?
Who else is on there? Everybody else is pretty much a 1 year or 2 year coach. I got one for you, Marshall. You might not like it.
He may actually like it because he might not be a fan of it.
He's actually smiling, so I think he might actually like it.
This guy's on my list.
KOC. He's ready for him to get fired. He's seen enough. He's done enough. He doesn't want, Marshy is over the KOC project. Like, he doesn't need to see any more of it. He doesn't care about it. He's done.
Marsh, those offenses are
Disheartening,
not
man.
a fluke.
Anthony, they haven't been top 5 since he's been coach. I'm just saying.
He hasn't
Never
had a top 5 quarterback.
Who has, though?
A lot of teams.
Chiefs
have.
Bengals.
Definitely. They have as well.
Chargers.
The Bills. You're getting a little loose with it with the Chargers.
Hasn't won a playoff game at
Rams.
all in 4 years. He's missed the playoffs twice. You know, one of the worst running games in the NFL since he's taken over. Refuses to run the football and keep points. You're not going to win a Super Bowl not running the football.
All right, so
here's the thing. I don't want him to get fired. I need him to adjust.
Well, but you're asking him to be something that he's not, though, essentially, right?
Okay, well then be one-dimensional. Be a one-dimensional head coach. How's that gonna work out?
I'm just saying, Marsh. What you have, you might be frustrated with.
100%.
You'd be more frustrated with
1 million.
There's some
1,000,000%.
There's some real crap out there.
Absolutely.
There's some real likable coaches that only start coaching until or when his team is eliminated. You know, so you can have that guy. He's available now.
Not saying they need to fire him.
I don't think they want him.
Is it wrong for me to ask to simply adjust? To your quarterback?
No.
They ran the ball with Dalvin Cook his last year there. Dalvin had a really good season.
When was Dalvin Cook's last year?
His last year in Minnesota was 20. Was it 22 or 23?
I think it was 23.
I think it was 23. 23.
Boy, he's only been
Madison.
He's only been out for 2 years. Dalvin Cook out of Minnesota for 2 years.
Yep.
Man, it feels like much longer.
Yeah, it really does.
It's because people forget about you when you're, not there anymore. Actually, 22 was his last year.
Still.
I don't think he'll be fired, but I do think that there is pressure to win, especially with the decision to have J.J. McCarthy be your starter and not really have a good backup option. And maybe there's some finger pointing there. Whose decision was it to have him be the starter this year with what people call a ready-made Super Bowl caliber team? I would argue that they had a ton of holes this year.
Do you, real quick, and we'll move on, do you wish that they kept Kirk Cousins? In hindsight.
Hell yeah.
No. No,
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
I truly believe that they needed to draft a quarterback. I think, though, where they may have went wrong was putting all of their eggs in a guy who hasn't played one snap in the NFL, putting all of their eggs in that basket.
Fair. All right.
But I do believe that you need to get a quarterback on a rookie contract if you're going to have other pieces that you believe to be Super Bowl caliber. Problem is the guys that they went out and got, especially on the offensive line, were not that. And they continue to draft terribly. They only have a few picks where you're like, that was a really good pick. And one of those is a kicker.
You need kickers, though.
You like kickers.
You
Kickers are important.
Will
people.
Reichert's one of the best in the league.
I know what you're saying, though, Marsh. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We got Bet the Board next. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time for Bet the Board. All right, Marsh. I don't think any of us, except for the champ, did well last night. The champ, of course, being Jamie Rivers. It's his show. That's why he's never here.
Yeah, he's the only one that picked up a point last night and bet the board.
Okay.
So here are the standings, Anthony. It's a lot to a little.
Good for him.
Jamie with a lot. Anthony with
a little.
A little. Carey and I just basically nothing. Yeah, that's the standings for you.
Sorry, guys. All right, so what's that Scumbags pick?
He's going with the Anaheim Ducks and the Colorado Avalanche to score.
Over first period Avs versus Ducks. Total first period is it 1.5? Is what he usually
1.5.
It's at -175.
No way.
I mean, you can come take a look. See, Anthony, make sure I'm correct here.
I'm taking a look.
I want to make sure that that we get facts and stats here.
Oh, I'm seeing it right now.
Is it
-175.
Okay, all right. Just making
Is this
sure.
what this guy's been? Is this what this guy's been doing?
And
there's no way it jumped that much.
We ain't been
since
checking.
he texted.
I'm taking a picture.
Don't send it to him yet.
No,
because he's looking at this. I don't know. Cleveland State, maybe.
He
did send another text.
He did.
I think it was something like, "Hey, if the money line, if the juice is too much, too high, give me Cleveland State on the money line."
Either that or he's got Maryland. He also texted them versus Illinois on the money line. There's he for whatever reason, I think it's me. He doesn't like Illinois, so he's kind of leaning in that direction. We'll get we'll come back to his pick here shortly and get him squared away. We don't want to mess that up for him. It's really very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he gets that pick taken care of.
I do want to say something real quick.
Sure.
We got to give Carey a round of applause for being a hero and pointing that out, because I just took Jamie for his word.
Which we should never do.
Never.
175?
Yeah.
That's way too much.
Yeah, minus 150, if you're wondering, is the threshold. That's the cutoff.
It's unfortunate, man, because, you know, he's been winning a lot, actually. And unbeknownst to us, we ain't been checking, especially when he's on the road. We're just like, okay, whatever he said.
I think all his wins need to be vacated.
Null and void.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll take the over 6.5 goals in the Red Wings and Maple Leafs game.
I'm going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers plus 1.5 on the alt line at minus 140. It's because that's how we play the game here. You know, we do it the right way.
Yeah, well, there's honor in the game for us.
Yeah, man.
Not for some.
Yeah, some people just, some folks just out here, man.
Yep.
Just doing their own thing, brother.
All right, so I'm going to go with the first period over in the Washington Capitals and Vancouver Canucks game. Now, that line is at minus 135. That's what I'm going to do. Minus 135, which is
well, it's well within
the green.
I'm looking at something different, and I know how much Jamie loves the association. He actually texted me personally. He wants Ryan Kalkbrenner to have the most points in that game tonight, and that's plus 10,000.
Good call.
That's good play by him.
Good call. All right. So, yeah,
most points by Ryan Kalkbrenner in the game tonight.
We need to check all of Jamie's picks moving forward here. As bacon-wrapped wiener says in the snake pit, Jamie was using the wrong site for half the year.
Yeah, this is true.
And I remember the day, too, he goes, hey, why don't we just kind of recap how we all did for last year? Who won the most months? Knowing damn well that he was the one that won the most months, and he wanted to bring it to the airwave. And then he acted all dumb, like, no, I didn't know it was me. Well, why was it you, Jamie? Why were you winning?
Every bet from this point on needs to be
examined, scrutinized, picked
I
apart,
just make sure we were all on the same page on that one, because when I saw minus 175, oh, that seems higher than what we allow here.
Well, it might be one of those things where maybe one of those picks is good, and so we check it. We're like, oh, okay, it's good.
Right. Yeah, it gets us all just sent.
We keep it moving.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, Joe Vitale, an honorable man, will join us next to talk Blues hockey next on 101 ESPN. Let me tell you a true story about my guy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. When my wife Chris and I were talking about looking at certain homes and whether or not we qualify and whether or not we can get pre-approved and all that, I texted Stewie at 314-324-4440. He doesn't mind me giving out that number because that's the number he wants you to call, too, if you have any sort of questions when it comes to loans, debt consolidation, refi, any of that. But I text him and say, hey, Stewie, just got a couple of questions for you. Let me know when's a good time for you, and we'll catch up maybe next week. And that was on like a Sunday. He goes, I'll call you tonight. I said, no, you don't have to call me on a Sunday. He goes, yeah, I'll be in Houston. I get to Houston, got some family stuff going on, but I got nothing going on at the hotel. I'll call you. He called me. We were on the phone for 30 minutes or so, answered all of our questions, gave us great advice, gave us great tips. And it's not just because Stewie and I have a relationship. That's what he does for everybody. I've heard from other 101 ESPN listeners or friends that have used them. They all have the same or similar story. This guy's incredible. If you're borrowing at least $200,000, you qualify for the bagel loan, which means no closing costs, no lender fees. That is something nobody else is doing, and it's not like the cost is baked in someplace else. That's not how he does it. He wants you to have savings so that you can increase your offer for a seller if you're buying a home. He wants to have that extra money in your pocket if you want to do an upgrade to the house, or anything like that. But just pick up the phone and call Stewie, 314-324-4440, or you can text him like I did. It's up to you. Google the bagel loan if you missed the number, but call him if you got any sort of questions. He's incredible. Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation.
NMLS number 226715.
talking everything St. Louis Blues as we head into the Blues booth on 101 ESPN. Presented by Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. Find your perfect new floor at boardwalkhardwood.com.
5:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line where we got our guy Joe Vitale, who's on the call for the Blues Radio Network. Be on the call tomorrow for the Blues and Stars. What's up, Joe? Oh no, Joe's got the robot voice like Jamie did. Joe, you there?
You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you now. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. How you guys doing?
Good. We're doing good today, man. So, look, going back to last night, I thought the Blues 5-on-5 were pretty competitive. You know, they didn't get run out of the building. I thought that when the game was tight, unfortunately, discipline and execution on special teams matter more than anything, and the Blues came up short. But I thought there were some positives to last night, including the power play goal. Did you see some fundamental changes when it came to the power play?
You know, I saw just more of a mindset to throw pucks to the net, you know, and I think this is something that Steve Ott's been harping on these guys about a lot as well. You know, to me, it's really not a coaching thing. It's really just a matter of the guys on the ice and the personnel on the ice making the decision to throw pucks to the net. You know, and I know that, you know, like Jim has said, you have a group of players that are playmaking, pass-first forwards especially, and trying to get those guys to work out of that, kind of unravel that, unpack that, and move into more of a shot mentality has been a challenge for them all season long. So, you know, with Jim taking over last game, you do get a power play goal. You know, Jordan Kyrou last night, he tees up that one-timer from Justin Falk. You know, that's typically a puck that I think he would stop and try to make a play with. You know, so something did shift last night for Kyrou in that moment. And, you know, Salt, you're hoping that Jordan and every other player feels that, and you're like, oh, okay, that's what it's like, right? Just, you know, it doesn't have to be that perfect play. It doesn't have to be the design play you work on in practice, or maybe you see in the highlight reel where they go low to high, hit the bumper guy, kick it to the back door, and it's a beautiful net like you see in Tampa with Point and Kucherov. You know, it's not always going to happen that way. In fact, the majority of times they don't go in that way. So just finding that simplicity and getting the mindset like Kyrou had last night when he receives that puck from Falk, it's not a stop and pick your head up and make a pass. It's a shot. You got a great net front presence in that moment in Jake Neighbors. He's been great at the net all year long. Reward the kid. You know, throw more pucks there. They did last night. They did get rewarded on the power play.
You're talking about throwing more pucks at the net. Colton Parayko had 5 shots, and that was like the most shots he's had since I think the 4th or 5th game of the season in a game. What did you see from him last night, just being more aggressive and being more willing to actually shoot the puck? Yeah,
you know, Carey, I thought what you just said, you know, he threw more pucks at the net. You know, he had 5 shots go through, I guess. I mean, to me, I don't know. I got to look back on the notes. I mean, I would imagine he had to come close to double-digit in attempts. That
yeah, I think it was 8 at one point that I saw, 8 or 9.
Okay.
But 5 shots on goal, yeah.
There you go. I mean, yeah, he may have carried. He may have finished with close to 10, if not maybe over 10, based on how the final went. Because, you know, to me, they need him, right? I mean, you want this for Colton. You want him to get to his first goal of the year. He just came off a year where he got 16, or well over halfway point of the season. He's still stuck at 0. You would love it. You love to see him kind of get that monkey off his back, right? However, right, not just Colton, but the team. The team needs him, right? The team needs him to produce there as well, and not just getting goals, but, you know, the assist, throwing pucks there, you know, the chaos. Maybe one in the middle of the ice, he springs, it goes wide, it hits the yellow dash behind the net, it pops in front, and maybe Jake Neighbors gets a whack at one. You know, it's a shot from the point. You know, let's look at tomorrow's game. If it's Jake Ottinger in the cage and, you know, it hits him in the chest, it pops right up, and you got Jimmy Snuggerud and Dalibor Dvorsky there whacking away, and maybe they pick up a rebound. You know, anytime you throw pucks there, good things are going to happen. I think he's had a little bit too much of a passive mindset where he's just okay putting it behind the net or maybe just making a simple play to the outside. Or, you know, you want him just to have his feet set and just chuck pucks at the net, because when he does it, you know, Carey, it's not just the goals that we're going to see. We're going to see the assist. We're going to see another thing. We're going to see players who are blocking these shots go down and get hurt. Mm-hmm. I mean, last night's game, Mark Scheifele, the guy who was the number one star in the game, they almost lost him for the whole game. He blocked a shot right off his ankle. I mean, again, you're not trying to hurt anybody. No one wants to hurt anybody, but this is a game and you're competitive, right? And for you to be putting that puck and that piece of rubber, 95, 98 miles an hour at the net, two things are going to happen. Either you are going to clear some spots because people are going to get hurt, or you're going to say, the other team say, get the heck out of the way. I don't want to eat this one again. And then lanes are going to start opening up. So to answer your question quite simply, yeah, you want them to see those amount of attempts. You want to see it tomorrow night, or Friday night against Dallas. You want to see it next week on the homestand, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts per game. You start seeing those kind of numbers, you're going to start seeing Colton numbers draw up.
Joe, you mentioned Jimmy Snuggerud. He was playing alongside Braden Shen last night. He's a guy who's just been firing the puck on net. I think Curbs even made a joke last night on the broadcast. If he could shoot the puck from inside his hotel room, he would. What have you seen from him in this last stretch of games? It seems like he's playing with a lot more confidence.
Yeah, I would say confidence, and I would say it's probably I always use this term in hockey, a young player, at some point you have to develop a healthy amount of selfishness. A healthy amount of selfishness, to me, that's where it's at. You come into the league and, everyone's got to kind of find their spot. Everyone's got to kind of find their role. It's no different than you guys, take your wives out to a couples dinner where it's like 6 or 7 couples, and you kind of know a couple of couples, and maybe you're just meeting some school friends, and you don't know some of the other couples. You get to the restaurant, and everyone, you don't just jump in, right? You're not just the life of the party, right? You're not ordering drinks and shots for everybody. People are like, whoa, you back up a little bit. So I think it's kind of the same way with the hockey team. You're a young kid. You kind of tiptoe in, you introduce yourself, and hey, is your kid in 3rd grade too? Oh yeah, my kid's playing soccer. Well, what color? Oh, he's on the pink pandas. Oh, he's on the blueberries. Whatever.
The flamingos.
Yeah, the pink flamingos, whatever. So you kind of you start in, and I think that's what we saw this year, where he kind of tiptoes in, and that's natural and that's normal. But I think that now the coaches and these veteran players have grabbed him and said, hey, dude, enough of the tiptoeing. You're jumping in now, because we need you. You're not a supplementary piece, right? You are a piece. You're a big part of this core now, and your shot's a weapon. We got to have you use that weapon. It's no different with Parayko. Those two guys, their biggest weapon is their shot. But if you're not going to use that weapon, right, then sometimes you can be a little expendable. And there's, Jimmy Snuggerud. No disrespect to Jimmy Snuggerud, if he doesn't shoot the puck and he doesn't have the confidence to make plays, again, no disrespect, but there's a lot of players like him, right? And he knows that, right? So you have to shoot the puck. It's your biggest gift. And now we're starting to see more of the playmaking in him, like those little passes behind defenders. That's all the stuff they need out of him, and this group needs him. So I think that he's finally, mentally making that shift. That's what's changed. I think the mindset has changed in him, because the tools really haven't changed much. Physically, you're not going to change this much in 2 months. All of a sudden, you're getting, double-digit attempts, multiple games in a row when he wasn't getting that at the start of the year. Nothing physically about your shot or your muscles or your stature or your positioning, your knee bend. That's all. You are what you are for the most part. But it is a mental shift. And I think he's made a really nice mind shift where he's looking at his shot as a difference maker in this game. It could be a difference maker for this team, and he's hoping to continue it.
Joe Vitale joining us right now on the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Joe, of course, played several years in the NHL. Joe, obviously with all this talk about the goal scoring being an issue for the Blues, my question is, sometimes in other sports, football mainly, you can have a system or a scheme, and the system can actually elevate the players that you have. Is it like that in hockey? Is there a way to generate more offense? Or is it just flat out, look, man, you have to have the top goal scorers, and it's just going to come from the offense is going to come from those guys, and that's it. There's really no systematically can't do anything.
Yeah, no. So that's a really good question because as you watch these games and you see these other teams, especially earlier in the year when we were healthy, on paper we were a better hockey team. We were a better hockey team. Mm-hmm. And you're losing these games, and you're getting outplayed, or you're getting dominated at times. You're like, what the heck am I missing? Right? What are people missing? That is what I think Doug Armstrong is so frustrated about. We had him on the broadcast a couple weeks ago, and during the second period on a home game where they scored a couple goals, and he said, "This is great. It's been a great period." However, the issues this year is what's it going to be in the third? Like, what's it going to be in 2 nights from now? Like the inconsistencies, right? So when it looks good, it looks really good. Now, when it doesn't look good, I think that there is a systematic kind of like, I would say, crack in this team. And I think it's some personnel. I think it's some coaching. I think it's some philosophies. I think it's some just guys getting in the groove. But even just in the offensive zone, you know, it's been so, what they call in hockey, one and done, right? You chip the puck in, you get a hit, maybe you almost try to create a turnover, maybe you get that turnover, and then you make one pass, and then it's out the zone, right? You regroup, maybe you come back a minute later, next line, chip it in, you get a bump, you get a turnover, you go low to high, shot gets blocked, back out of the zone, one and done. You're in there for one opportunity, and you're out. The best teams in the league, it's the wave after wave. It's not one and done. You chip it in, you get a bump, you get the turnover, you go low to high, you get a shot through, you cycle it a couple more times, you go back low to high, high to low, and you move it around, you cycle, you wear the other team down, then that line changes mid-shift, you get a fresh line out, and you continue the offensive zone. Maybe the other team clears it briefly into the neutral zone, but you turn it right back and you shove it right back down their throat. You just keep going, right? You're just relentless. That's what's missing. It's that wave after wave, 2, 3, 4 shifts in a row of just that pounding. I mean, think about that 19 Stanley Cup team. It was an onslaught. It was just like, imagine being on the coast when the waves are cruising and the tornadoes are coming, the hurricanes come. It's just whoosh, whoosh. It just you can't catch your breath, and that's what it feels like when this team is going really well. And right now, offensively, the disconnection, that little 2-foot pass out of trouble in the offensive corner. Maybe the low to high, then that shot gets blocked. Maybe they go low to high, then they go around the net. No one's there. Maybe they decide to switch corners because they're in trouble in the right corner. They kick it to the left corner. Again, maybe a player's just not in position. Where you look at these really good teams where it's just expected. You know, if Kucherov's got the puck in the right corner, you know, he's going to kick it to Braden Point in the far corner. He doesn't even need to look. He just knows Point's going to be there because that's the system, right? So I think that there's a lot of, like, systematic cracks happening right now where they can sustain a lot of offensive zone time. And when you're not sustaining a lot of offensive zone time, what are you doing? You're expending all your energy defending. And that's where, like, you look at that Edmonton game. I mean, they were exhausted. They were spent by the second period because they spent the first 25, 30 minutes of that game just defending. So that in itself, to kind of dumb that down, hopefully I explained that well for the offensive zone. It's a systematic thing that it needs to get resolved here, and I think they're certainly on it. Again, a lot of it has to do with coaching, the coaches with different identities and different philosophies, and also personnel. A lot of guys are injured. Guys come in, guys come out, young guys called up. But everyone kind of being on that same page, which, you know, I'll wrap it up with, that's why Steve Ott goes down to Springfield, because they're starting to see that this is an organization step forward. That's the way they're approaching this, because you need to start developing these philosophies in the American League. So these guys, when they get called up, they know exactly what's being asked of them when they get here.
Joey, I thought last night they played pretty well, but still were unable to find a way to win. And that can kind of, you know, as a team and as a player, that can kind of wear down on you. I mentioned it earlier. It's like when you're dieting and you don't see the results, you tend to go back to the old habits because that's what you know best. How does this team find a way, even when they're not winning but playing well, to stay the course and not go back to the old habits, because that's just generally what you want to do?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Carey. I mean, this point right now for this team, it's really all about mental and emotional. Like, how are they mentally and emotionally going to handle this? You know, I don't disagree with what you just said. I thought last night was a really defeating loss. You know, you just got blown out by Edmonton 2 nights prior. You would think that one would sting more. I actually don't think so. I mean, Edmonton is an incredible team. Connor McDavid is a man amongst boys out there. I mean, each and every year he gets faster. I don't know how he does it. I'm doing the bench interview before the game. He comes out for warm-ups. Guys, he looked like he literally was shot out of a rocket. I've never seen anyone look so fast in my life. And that's just a great player, right? And it's a great team. They play fast. So you lose that game 5-0. Yeah, it stung. Yeah, you didn't have the legs. You really don't have an option or a choice in that game. But then last night's game, you know, was much tighter. But let's face it. I mean, Winnipeg was below you in the standings. You guys are all kind of towards the bottom. You're all trying to hunt for that second wild card spot. It's a Winnipeg team that just got shut out the night before by a Chicago team, which also is out of the playoffs. So you're looking at this as a winnable game. And where I think was really defeating, for this team, you felt it on the plane and the bus, is because, you know, it's a team around you in the standings. You played really well 5-on-5. Winnipeg did not play well at all 5-on-5, and you still found a way to lose the game. So you played really well against a team that's not great in the standings. They didn't play very well, and you still lost in regulation. That's where it stings a little bit, right? So to answer your question, I mean, you've been in those locker rooms. I've been in those locker rooms. To me, it just comes from one thing, and it's just showing up that next day. And as cliche as it is, let's just show up as a group. You got to lean on your leadership. You got to have good supplemental pieces in that leadership role of grabbing guys and just saying, we just got to take a step today. And you're hoping they do that there on Friday.
Joe, we appreciate your time, man. Great breakdown on all this. We appreciate it, especially when it comes to the Blues. And look, they're struggling right now, but more insight like that is welcome, man. We appreciate you. So have a great rest of your week, and we'll check back with you again next week.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys as well. You guys have a great week now.
Thanks Joe. You too. Joe Vitale here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Great stuff there from Joe. Good insight, good breakdown, good insight overall. We have part one of the Sports Six Pack coming up. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Send in any question that you have. Part one of the Six Pack next.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you're in the market for a new vehicle, my friends over at Genesis of St. Charles have you covered. They are the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2026. Genesis of St. Charles is your premier Genesis dealer, and you don't want to wait. Now is the time to visit them. They are located right off of Highway 70 and Mid Rivers Mall Drive at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway. You can experience the luxury service at their state-of-the-art facility and get in there. Get in there today. They want your trade-in, and they are willing to pay more on it than for any new Genesis purchase. There are no games, no gimmicks, just upfront pricing. You can unlock the e-price today. Every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. That means a complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. If you're in the market for something new, let Genesis of St. Charles bring the test drive to you. They have a large selection of new Genesis models in stock, ready for you to take home today. Or if you can't get in there, you can buy it online. You can go online and see what they have to offer. Visit them today at genesisofstcharles.com. That's genesisofstcharles.com.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
They want to ask you a bunch of questions. They want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
All right. Time for the Sports Six back here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 314-399-9646 to the Air Comfort Service text line. Question 1, Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right. We have a scenario here that the 314 is asking of us. Needs some advice. My uncle plans on having his 70th birthday this Sunday, Championship Sunday.
Nice.
And I really don't want to go.
Yeah.
What? If it was the weekend of the PGA U.S. Open, you could not drag him out of the house if it was on fire. Am I wrong for skipping the birthday party?
Who is this again? Remind me.
His uncle.
His uncle.
How old is your
birthday.
uncle? I think he's earned the right to be stubborn and not go if it was something, I understand. I'm sure if your uncle is a golf fan, he's probably got the football game on somewhere. No?
Yeah, is the game on?
If the game ain't on, I ain't.
Well, let me ask you this.
I have so many questions.
Are you a fan of one of the teams?
That's a good question.
Are you a fan of one of the teams?
Yeah.
If you're a fan of one of the teams,
is an Eagles fan.
Oh man, go to your uncle's birthday.
Go to your uncle's party, but
Watch
the game's got to be on.
Yeah.
Game's got to be on.
It's a stipulation.
You're not asking for much.
What time's the party, by the way? The game doesn't start till 2 o'clock. Game 1 does not start till 2.
Probably right in the middle of
It typically
one of the
is,
games.
isn't it? It's always around.
Hey, got to travel during
3:30. Why
the
don't you
third quarter.
Right.
You're like,
yeah.
You couldn't make it in between
and
both games or before the first game.
Which there's never enough time. You try to do the thing where it's like, we'll leave it at halftime.
Yeah.
Bad idea, man. You missed half the third quarter.
You will. Yeah.
Unless you're right down the street.
Starts at 3. It's at a restaurant.
Turn the damn game on at the restaurant.
Yeah, but what kind of restaurant?
Room? Yeah. Says a steakhouse. They got a game there. Depends on the steakhouse. So now we're getting more information, and you feel a little.
This can work out. This can work out really well, or it could really blow up in your face. So the night of the playoff games, it was it was the Big Ten championship. It was Ohio State and Indiana. It had been on the calendar for a while. We were meeting up with great friends of ours. And we went to a steakhouse. And we got to the table, and I looked, and there was a TV, massive TV.
Yeah.
That you'd see on one side.
Yeah.
Other side, no chance.
You positioned yourself.
I positioned myself right there. I had the game, all good. We had a great time, good company, good food. But if you're on the other side of the table, or if you have to leave to go to the bar constantly, all that, you ain't watching that game then.
Yeah.
You may think you can, but you're not. So I think you got to tell your uncle, hey man, you know I love you, right? This ain't happening.
I ain't coming.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. I think you should go.
I agree. I think you should
go.
Family.
Your team's not in it anymore.
Your dad's brother, your mom's
Whose
brother.
fault is it though?
It's not Nick Sirianni's fault.
No, it's not Nick Sirianni's. It's the uncle's fault.
For having a birthday party?
Actually, here's the play. And Carey, you'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate where I'm coming from on this. Here's the play. You go. Then you wait till the Sunday of the PGA Championship.
You have a party
and you
for
have
yourself?
A party. You have a birthday.
I actually don't mind that. Sunday.
Yeah.
Not Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
When everything's on the line.
For one of the kids.
Yep. Something. Whatever.
You coming?
Hey. Yeah. And when that old you-know-what looks at you and says,
not a chance.
Well, I'm not doing that. Be like, really? Mm-hmm. Really? Because you had a birthday party Championship Sunday. So.
June 18th to the 21st, 2026. That's when the U.S. Open is being held.
There you go. Oh, it was U.S. Open? Is that what it was?
I think it was the U.S. Open.
Okay. There you have it.
Probably any PGA tour.
Whatever. Pick out his favorite.
What is it?
Pick out his favorite, and you have a party then. Maybe he'll be maybe he'll be accommodating. Maybe he'll figure out the game's on, and he'll have the game on for you and all that.
Hopefully.
I think you got to go.
If not,
I understand being upset.
You got to make him pay.
Pay for his own birthday dinner?
No, make him pay by having him not be able to watch one of his favorite tournaments.
He said, appreciate you, fellas. Thanks for the advice. I ain't going.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I don't blame you either, man.
He did say that they have
Happy birthday.
Of course.
They've had multiple family gatherings over the course of like the last month or so.
Oh, that's tough too.
Yeah.
Like, really, another one? Come on, man.
In all caps, I ain't going.
That's awesome. All right, that works as a standalone. We'll get to the second part of the six pack next. Keep firing in those questions. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service tax line. Part 2 of the Sports Six Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Joe Vitale, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you will find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. It's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Blues lose to the Winnipeg Jets last night, 3-1. They'll take on the Stars on Friday. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And, of course, we will do part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack coming up next. So if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Part 2 of the Six-Pack is next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Time for part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So part 2, next, right now.
Question number 2.
Next and right now.
All right, this is a lengthy one from the 417. I have a question for the Sports Six-Pack, or when we get to talk about the Blues, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. At what point do we start questioning some of Jim Montgomery's decision-making?
Never.
For instance... Going into the Edmonton Oilers game, and I'm a huge Jordan Binnington supporter, probably to my detriment, but that man could do no wrong in my eyes. But going into the Edmonton game, knowing that we had just won 2 in a row, we won 3,
2 in a row,
won 2 in a row, spelled differently, and there were no changes in the lineup. That's what tripped me up. No changes in the lineup. And we've had this monkey on our back all season about not getting 3 wins in a row. Why not leave everything as is for the Edmonton game? And then if we don't get it done going into Winnipeg, you bring back Holloway or whatever. It just seems like we get 2 of those. We get those 2 wins, and then Montgomery changes up everything going into that 3rd game, and it all falls downhill. And then we have a 2 or 3 game losing streak.
So are you not supposed to play Dylan Holloway? Because he didn't play the game before. Like, and then I'm not, being rude or disrespectful. I think you change things up because one of your best players came back and was healthy. The hell I'm supposed to do? You got to change it up. You got to let the guy play. And
what about Binnington?
He's your number 1 goalie, man. At some point, you hope that he gets it right, but he's been struggling. Been struggling bad, man.
I mean,
he ain't trying to.
Yeah. To answer your question more directly, like what you can question his decision making as much as you want.
But why would you put that on Monty though? I mean, on he said Monty or Army? He said Monty.
Monty.
Okay.
Monty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he said Army.
I mean, I'm sure there's some things that Jim Montgomery's like, yeah, man, maybe I tinkered too much, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, or I should have left. I should have whatever. I should have pulled Binnington out earlier, or whatever.
Well, Hofer was back in the back. He wasn't ready.
Hofer wasn't ready.
That was a different game.
That was. But, it's all... Look, the Blues are losing, so it's all up for discussion. And I think this is one of the points that Jamie has tried to make when somebody texts in and says, well, why aren't you guys talking about Buchnevich and his play? Yeah, Buchnevich isn't playing well. Why aren't you guys talking about Jordan Kyrou? Hold him accountable. There's not many Blues players that are playing well. Steve Ott just went to Springfield. The power play wasn't performing well. It's all up for discussion. Why don't you guys hold the Army accountable for the no trade clauses in the contracts? Guys, gals, you can criticize all of it.
Yeah.
It's a losing product right now. It's all up for discussion. I don't think we need to do the thing to pick and choose certain things, and it's mostly
point fingers, man. When you point a finger, there's 3 pointing back at you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So you don't point fingers at anybody.
That's right.
If we came in this thing together, we're gonna lead together.
Mm-hmm.
And if we stink along the way, then we just stink together. But we ain't trying to stink.
No.
We're trying to smell good.
That's right.
And play good.
Yeah.
And play well.
So I say it's your fault, CD, and I go like this with all the fingers right at you.
Yeah. How do you keep someone accountable if you're in the media? Is it just by simply pointing out, well, this player stinks?
You can't.
That player stinks. I'll do it right now. The team stinks.
Right.
They're not good. They're not fun to watch. They're boring. And they can't score. There you go.
I think some people want us to like have the players on and rip them.
You sure about that?
Have the coaches on, rip them. And they think that's holding somebody accountable. It's not. These players got to hold themselves accountable. These ain't children. We can sit here and give our opinions, but it's a fallacy to think that the media can hold somebody accountable. That's when Marsh. I think you were the only one who was here that night when I went on the big rant when somebody texted in about me not holding Mo accountable.
Yeah, that was the
first Ranthony.
Yeah, the genesis of Ranthony. It's been a while since we've seen him pop out. I guess it must be just a Cardinals thing.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Carey.
Because Ranthony could have popped out yesterday on that damn.
It was nice to
guy.
Yeah.
They were saying that the Cardinals don't have a core.
You were polite.
I was.
I'm proud. You know what that's called?
Growth, maturity.
It's called growth and
Thank
maturity.
you. Yeah,
that sometimes you got to talk to people, and it helps kind of regulate your systems. Instead of responding with, you just, what's really bothering you?
What's really bothering you?
What did I do?
Yeah.
It's not me. It's actually you. Yeah, I'm proud of you, man.
What CD's alluding to, I do appreciate the compliment. Thank you. So, somebody in the snake pit yesterday hurled some insults my way.
They call you a cocky fat, Anthony?
No, they didn't go that far. But yeah, there was some couple things that were shared by this one person, and I just reached out and I said, hey, man.
Who hurt you?
I say, hey. There's something that's going on in your life. There's something missing. From what I could tell, is probably significance. This person doesn't feel significant, so they act this certain way. But I want to tell that person that you're significant to somebody.
We all are.
Yeah. So you don't have to do that.
It's flat out mean, Anthony. That's what it was.
There's another person that's mad at me now. Anthony's such a meatball. Is that an Italian thing?
Where is that at?
Right there, Anthony's biceps. Anthony is such a meatball. Last year he wanted Bannister out. Now look where the Blues are at. Get your facts straight, brother. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know where that's at. I don't see it.
Say that again?
Anthony is such a meatball. Last year he wanted Bannister out. Now look where the Blues are at. Get your facts straight, brother. I don't know what facts you're talking about.
I hope that... never mind.
You know what, fellas? We can't please everybody.
Drew Bannister taking that team to the playoffs last year?
Who knows?
I guess we'll never know.
I don't know. It might be Drew Bannister that's not that just called me a meatball. No, he's
not meatball. It's a meatball.
Drew Bannister is very professional. Yeah, I mean, if you want to clarify, I'd certainly read your comment, but I actually don't know what you mean.
They probably don't know what they mean either, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they text in and don't have their stats and facts like we have on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Anyways.
Whatever, dude.
Gator says, correction, Anthony loves meatballs. I do.
Especially the ones he dropped on the ground.
And Carey's there that day, man.
It was devastating.
Dude, when that corner hit my arm like I was back in DeKalb, fumbling that football, that was a tough day.
It was slow motion, too.
It was awful.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
You were ready.
I was ready to eat that meatball.
So frustrated.
Damn. We'll wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN. So I was talking about the AFC title game earlier and some plays that I like this week at Underdog. If you're playing on Underdog and you can, right here in our state of Missouri, you can win money all throughout the course of the playoffs, which of course now just the championship Sunday and Super Bowl. But when it comes to playing on Underdog, all you have to do is choose whether or not certain players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. So, for example, NFC Championship game this week. I like Kenneth Walker to go higher than 20.5 receiving yards. If you look at his matchup with the Rams, think about his usage with Zach Charbonnet out. I think that Kenneth Walker, who has eclipsed this number in 3 straight games against the Rams, I think he's going to have a decent or profound impact on the Seahawks passing game. I also like Colby Parkinson to go higher than 23.5 receiving yards for the Rams. I know Puka Nakua's there. Devontae Adams has had a quiet postseason, but I think Parkinson winds up having some decent yardage numbers. I like him to go higher than 23.5 receiving yards. I'll have more plays throughout the course of the week, but how you play at Underdog, completely up to you. If you submit your entries and you get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download that app today, or head to the website, use my promo code Anthony. So when that asks for a promo code, just type in my first name, Anthony, to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that promo code is Anthony at Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details concerning through play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.nspgambling.org. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Shavador Company. All right, time to find out what everybody learned today.
I mean, I learned Sean McDermott was doing God's work in Buffalo. He was holding that thing together. Jeez Louise.
Him and Josh Allen.
Man.
Deserve some overtime. Marsh.
I learned if you have a birthday or if you were celebrating anything, make sure you look at your schedule first, because sometimes your family members will prioritize sports over you.
Yep.
That's what I learned today.
That's a good call. I just saw this in the snake pit. Sorry, I get choked up when I read it.
Yeah.
It's from Waterboy, and I actually share this. So I'm just going to read it again, right from Waterboy. He says, I learned that Bloom had a great idea to have Molina work with the catchers. Wish Mo would have thought about it. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I definitely feel like we've seen this before.
No, I don't know about that. All right, Marsh.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
I have to read a text because we received a text earlier. I did not bring it to the air. I'm going to do so now because it involves our 3rd star of the day. 88 Keys Entertainment said the Cardinals went from the Gas House Gang to the Gaslight Gang. The Gaslight Gang is our 3rd star of the day.
Okay.
Nice job.
Our 2nd star of the day goes out to the Adam Wainwright puzzle.
Yeah.
That got abandoned and then was given back to my man Marshy.
I don't think it was given back. I think somebody sacrificed their Adam Wainwright puzzle.
You don't know
a different one.
Yeah.
You don't know that?
I think it was a different one. Marsh knows this stuff.
200 pieces, Anthony, for 200 wins.
Yep.
Yeah, we should crack that thing open and put it together.
No.
We could. It could be a real team bonding moment for us.
We
all 3 of us.
I don't know that we.
Oh, that's good. And like you said, we'll frame it, put it in the office.
Okay.
100%.
Cool.
100%.
I'm sure Wayno will sign it for us.
That'd be awesome.
It would be cool. Mm-hmm. Anthony's meatball is our 1st star of the day.
Yeah, that thing dropped on the floor in slow motion,
R.I.P.
man.
that meatball.
I thought about eating it still.
You definitely
I thought about eating it.
If I wasn't in there, you might have scooped it up. And
here's the problem. There's so many.
So much foot traffic.
There's so much foot traffic. There's so much foot traffic in that break room of ours.
Man.
I couldn't do it, and I'm not sure how many times it's been cleaned. You know, I mean, yeah. I thought about it briefly, but I
thing
had
hit the floor, slow motion. Like, yeah, it was bad.
one of those big restaurant style meatballs.
Yeah.
You know, seasoning,
Have you had one
breadcrumbs. Oh, I can't. I can't, man.
Give me the trauma.
Oh man,
The trauma.
I can't go back. All right. Oh, we got NBA tonight?
Tomorrow
we have NBA. I guess we got instant replay.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love the NBA, huh?
Jamie.
No, he does. Remember, he took Ryan Kalkbrenner on.
Oh, that's right.
He scored the most points.
Yeah.
He loves the NBA. That's his favorite thing, man.
I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah, he's keeping track.
Yeah, Jamie loves that NBA. You're right.
He talks about it all the time.
So, yeah, we got Mavericks and Warriors tomorrow. Carey's Warriors. Doing some good things out there in
Got to get healthy.
Oakland. Or what is it, San Francisco now. They went across the bridge.
They did.
They said everybody's out of Oakland. Us too.
That's unfortunate for that city.
Oh, it certainly is. Absolutely. Yeah, they can just go right across the bridge. They'll love it. Anyways, for Carey Davis, for Andrew Marsh, for our guy Jamie Rivers, who's on the road, I'm Anthony Stalter. But have a great night. See you.